I better go through some names. Are we on there?
We should be on, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I haven't switched to, I'm trying to get the slides in, so it's on the shuttle right now.
Oh, gotcha. So you can't hear me. Liam Sorensen, Jordan Brenschler. I guess I can always turn this down. Oh, wait, we're turned down there, so no problem. Liam Sorensen, Jordan Brenschler, Will Washingberger, Jackson Thompson, Logan Wolf, Kaylee Bauer, Connor Pavelko, Jacob Bird, Zach Norton, Tegan Schlittgen, Tate Wisher, Evan Witchery, Andrew Otto, Bo Warren, Logan Jones, and Evan Witchery. At number 99, Caleb Dwyer, 6'2", 255-pound junior. At the other end, number 7, Joey Otto. Number 76, Devontae Murray at tackle. Outside linebackers, number 8, Aaron Kusler. Number 10, Ethan Winter. Number linebacker, Isaac Warren, number 15. Corner, number 22, Tucker Large. Number 35, Doug Wells, followed up by number 4, Joey Hughes. Free safety, number 21, Nathan Moon. Strong safety, number 9, Bennett Yellowbird, who actually went to Christ the King. Fun fact. Number 3, wide safety, Devlin McManus. Starting offense for the Roosevelt Rough-Riders, number 68, Mason Amato. Number 60, guards, number 65, Nick Pruitt, and number 67, Sam Coles. At tackles, number 66, Ben Coles, and number 63, Kurt Solberg. At the strong end, number 3, Devlin McManus. The tight end, number 84, Hayden Jordan. Wide receiver, number 2, Jacob Bettencourt. Number 6, the slot receiver, that's Tyler Fetkin. Quarterback tonight is number 12, Brayden Danenberg. Running back is number 22, Jaden Moore. Tackle for OG in their 3-4 offense is John Sioux, number 54. The end is number 11, Noah Reeves, number 44, Aiden Thomas. Linebackers, number 14, Connor Pavelko. Number 32, Evan Witchery. Number 21, CJ Stucco. Number 22, Alex Kowalczyk. Corners, number 4. Otto, followed up by number 12, Kaylee Bauer, and Bo Blunt, number 6, followed up by number 1, Peter Hackler. The safety for us, number Oh yeah, they can extra fantastic. Let's see. Here's the output. Let's test our levels here testing. Give me 1 sec. Test, 1, 2. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Here, give me 1 sec. Just keep it right there. I just wanted to make sure my levels aren't too high. O'Gorman Knights touchdown. Okay, wait. Oh, hold up.
Eyeglasses or contact lenses, or you need a comprehensive eye exam. Barnett Vision Clinic in Sioux Falls utilizes the latest technology and treatments available. Barnett Vision Clinic offers a wide selection of eye care products, including sunwear, eyewear, and contact lenses to fit your specific eye care needs. Barnett Vision Clinic offers a
Test.
Patients without vision coverage. Their number is 605-335-7757 or online at barnettvisionclinic.com.
Morgan Stanley values long-term relationships with its clients. Andrew DeMore and Thaddeus Barnes, financial advisors with the Barnes DeMore Group of Morgan Stanley's Sioux Falls office, know that building relationships begins with getting to know each.
Testing. 1, 2, 3. Check 1, 2. Testing 1, 2, 3.
Needs. Andrew and Thad can be reached at 338-6.
Super.
Testing, 1, 2, 3. Check, 1, 2. Test, 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 1, 2, 3. The following is a special presentation of Real Presence Radio. On Real Presence Radio, welcome to the Knights Game Day Show, sponsored by Aaron's and First Premier Bank and Premier Bank Card. For the Knights Game Day Show, here are your hosts, Michael Promis and Dan Johnson. Welcome into the Knights Game Day Show, sponsored by First Premier Bank Card, and Aaron's, and welcome to Howard Wood Field for Game 6 of this season as the number 2 ranked O'Gorman Knights get ready to take on the number 1 ranked Sioux Falls Roosevelt Rough Riders. Hey folks, Michael Promis here alongside Dan Johnson. And Dan, this is about as good as it gets, 1 versus 2. It's our 3rd homecoming game in a row as well. First it was Lincoln, then O'Gorman, now it's Roosevelt's homecoming as well. There's going to be a lot of energy here tonight, and it should be a whole lot of fun.
Oh, what a gorgeous night here. I mean, a little bit chilly, but, you know, high, 50-some right now. We got a little bit of sun out on the field. But, again, yes, you said 3rd homecoming game. The Roosevelt crowds are filling in, but like you said, number 1 versus number 2. This is kind of like the Dome, you know. This is kind of like where the David meets Goliath. You got number 1, number 2, and it's all for the number 1. But it is tonight. It's right here at Howard Wood, and we have it for you.
You have 2 teams that are on paper very equally matched. You have 2 teams that have some inexperience, that have some very good star players, and they're kind of a little lopsided. I think we're going to see a whole lot of offense in tonight's game. These 2 offenses usually play against the other's defense very nicely. Well, for the offense at least. Historically, that's how it works, and so far this season, I think we're going to see that same thing as well. A bit of a condensed pregame, folks. We do apologize. Sometimes the nature of the beast. That's what you get with live radio sometimes, but we will not be hearing from from Roosevelt head coach Kim Nelson, but we will hear from O'Gorman head coach Jason Poppinga. That will be coming up shortly here in the Knights Game Day Show, but we'll step aside. When we come back, a scoreboard update for all the other games going on throughout the area. This is O'Gorman Knights football on Real Presence Radio.
At McGuire Iron, we believe in building a better tomorrow by providing unmatched services to deliver life-sustaining water. We're a family-run company that has been in business for over 100 years. We pride ourselves on using faith principles in our business practices every day. This deep faith in the church is why we support the Sioux Falls Catholic school system. From all of us at McGuire Iron and the Jones family, we wish all the O'Gorman students and student athletes good luck this year.
Crossroads Book and Music is a local source for Catholic gifts and supplies. From rosaries and medals to books and Bibles, Crossroads is here with materials to help individuals in their walk with Christ. Crossroads also features a large line of personalized gifts that are great for weddings, anniversaries, birthdays, or any special occasion. Crossroads is located at 41st and Grange next to Camille's. Crossroads, books, gifts, music.
Community. It's at the heart of everything we do at First Premier Bank and Premier Bank Card. From supporting area athletics to funding millions of dollars in academic scholarships, we continually seek new ways to improve and strengthen communities we serve. At the heart of these communities are people, our customers, and our employees. We work hard to ensure our customers are successful and our communities thrive. It's the Premier Way. It's what community banking is all about. First Premier Bank and Premier Bank Card. Locally grown, nationally known.
Welcome back into the Knights pregame show, sponsored by Aaron's First Premier Bank and Premier Bank Card. O'Gorman getting ready to take on Roosevelt in number 1 versus number 2 battle on Roosevelt's homecoming here at Howard Wood Field, but there are plenty of other games going on throughout the area as well. And here is Dan Johnson with our scoreboard update. Dan.
Okay, you know, we're 5 o'clock here at Sioux Falls. We're the early game, so you have a doubleheader tonight. After this game, is number 5, Brookings will play number 3, the Warriors of Washington, here at Howard Wood for the second doubleheader. But also we have number 4, Hearn plays at Mitchell tonight. In AA, Harrisburg is at Watertown. Rapid City Stevens is at Brandon Valley. Number 1, Pier in AA is at Sturgis Brown. And Sioux Falls Lincoln is down in Yankton. Number 3, Yankton tonight. and Aberdeen Central is out in Rapid City as well. So that's the 7 games that we're watching tonight, but the main one is right here, will be in front of us in about 13 minutes, Michael.
It's the game that people across the states are going to be watching for. Which one of these teams that are perfect so far, 5-0 on the season, are going to pick up their first loss and be the only, and who's going to be left to be the only perfect team in AAA football right now? We will see. It'll be a lot of fun. We'll step aside when we come back to the night's game day show. We're going to hear from O'Gorman head coach Jason Poppinga. That's on the way right here on Real Presence Radio Network.
Your family is depending on you. Your family is looking to you to make sure they're safe, protected, and taken care of. Knights of Columbus Insurance offers the protection they need, whether it's term life or whole life, long-term care insurance, disability income insurance, annuities, retirement planning, estate planning, or insurance analysis. Please call Jason Bell Richard at 605-305-0736 or Heath Dickelman at 605-351-7978. Knights of Columbus Insurance.
Morgan Stanley values long-term relationships with its clients. I'm Andy Demore, financial advisor with the Barnes Demore Group of Morgan Stanley's Sioux Falls office. Thad Barnes and myself know that building relationships begins with getting to know each client. We can create personal investment strategies to help meet retirement, education, and other financial needs.
Andy and Thad can be reached at 338-6500. Investments and services are offered through Morgan Stanley Smith Barney, LLC, member SIPC.
Aaron's in Sioux Falls is a lease-to-own retailer of furniture, electronics, and appliances. Aaron's offers payments that include 12, 18, and 24-month plans, and Aaron's same as cash option. They provide delivery and setup with a lease-to-own agreement, and product service and repair are also included. You can visit the Sioux Falls Aaron's store or call 988-9999. And you can also shop online at aarons.com to experience the Aaron's difference. Own it.
Welcome back to the Night's Game Day Show, brought to you by First Premier Bank Card, and Aaron's. I'm now joined by Sioux Falls O'Gorman football coach Jason Poppinga, and we had our homecoming football game last week, Coach. Went over Rapid City Central 41-7, a game that I'm assuming you as a coach just want to get the kids out there, the first teamers, get a lead early, and then just kind of remain healthy throughout the rest of the game. Great start to the game, up 20-0 after the first quarter, 27-0 at halftime. Were you happy with the way your first teamers executed right away?
You know, we only ran, I think what it was, 12 plays with our starting group, you know, before Norton and Canyon and some of those guys started coming out. So, I mean, obviously when you run one play and score a touchdown and then run 2 plays and score a touchdown, you know, it kind of gave the, you know, what the game was like. And, you know, they slowed the game way down. And, you know, we're happy with, you know, the win that we got. I mean, it's one of those games you wanted to get, like you said, get out of there and move on. And this week will be a completely different animal. I mean, Roosevelt, obviously the top team in the state and deservingly so, you know, and their defense is really fast. So, I mean, that'll be a big test for us.
I was going to ask you about Roosevelt. Now let's move into that game. That's tonight. 2 5-0 teams, 1-2 in state. Roosevelt's defense, you mentioned that they're fast. Just talk about what they do really well, and is this probably the best defense at this point in the season we've seen so far?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, obviously the Washington defense was good. You know, I thought we executed really well against them, you know, in the Dakota Bowl. I think the difference is, you know, just the size. I mean, you look at them, you know, their nose guard is 270, their strong end is 260, their weak end is a really quick kid. So, I mean, he causes problems just by his speed, you know. And then, you know, the Kusler twins, both great athletes, you know, 200-plus pounds at linebacker and run, you know, 4-something 40s. It'll be a big test for our offensive line, you know, which we said from the beginning was our kind of untested group and, you know, maybe the weaker part of our team. But, you know, we're happy with how they've progressed through the year, and this is going to be a big challenge for them tonight in order to, you know, protect Norton and give him enough time to try to get to open receivers, and hopefully we can march the football down the field.
Let's switch sides of the ball now. They have a player that's similar to Canyon in a lot of ways, and Tyler Feldkamp does a lot of things, running, catching, returning kicks and punts. Talk about being able to identify him on the field, and how far will that go in stopping their offense?
Well, it's a lot like, you know, us and Canyon. You know, the question is that when you do stop him, are the other players, you know, able to hurt you? You know, and I think that'll be the big question mark, is which team is able to get our big playmaker enough touches on the ball in order for him to make a difference. difference. And then when he's not touching the ball, that he's still making a difference because you're getting isolated, guys out in space. So, you're going to see in order for us to win, Norton's got to play really well. Wishy's got to play really well. And, hopefully when we do the same thing to them, when we shut down Feldkamp, that those other players on their team aren't making big plays and we're able to stop them.
And finally, Coach, just a few keys to victory against Roosevelt. Let's talk about the importance of getting out to a fast start. The Washington game, how we got up on right away.
Yeah, it's probably unrealistically to think that we're going to be ahead 21-0 in the first quarter, against this Roosevelt team. But, those first couple of drives are going to be important. I think that's going to set the tone. And I think both teams are going to come in with a game plan that's going to say, hey, this is what we need to do on offense. And if we execute it, we're going to be okay. If those things don't work, then it'll be like, well, what do we, where's the next step on that? So, that's the fun of coaching, is finding out, what you can do with those and how you're going to adjust in the game. And, I think this is going to be a battle down to the fourth quarter.
Thank you so much, Coach, popping in for your time. Good luck tonight.
Hey, appreciate it. Thanks, Brett.
That was Brett Byler with O'Gorman head coach Jason Poppinga, third year at the helm of these O'Gorman Knights, 5-0 on the season. You're listening to the Knights Game Day Show, sponsored by First Premier Bank, Premier Bank Card, and Aaron's. We'll step aside. When we come back, our keys to victory as we gear up for OG versus Roosevelt right here on Real Presence Radio.
Pregnant. One word, many emotions. Catholic Family Services provides free and confidential counseling to birth parents regardless of faith or ethnic origin. The birth parents will receive information and resources to help make the right decision for them. To inquire about the process, speak with the pregnancy counselor or schedule an appointment, call Catholic Family Services at 605-988-3775 or email cfs@sfcatholic.org.
Real Presence Live.
Hey everyone, Nathan Sather here, your host for the next Real Presence Live. Are you willing to do whatever it takes to live out your Catholic faith, even if it means losing your job? Some in the medical field might have to answer this question in the coming years, especially as talk of euthanasia grows in Europe. And we'll hear from one doctor about where he stands on this question. Then, prayer warriors throughout the area are back praying in front of local abortion mills for 40 days. Find out how you can be a part of this effort. All this Tuesday morning, 9 to 11 Central.
Financial Benefits Company helps individuals and small businesses prepare for retirement. Financial Benefits Company's philosophy is safe principal, positive return. You can reach John Fritsch at 605-334-8086 and on the web at fbcjf.com. Financial Benefits Company is a proud sponsor of Catholic Radio.
Welcome back into the Knights Game Day Show, sponsored by First Premier Bank Card, and Aaron's. Gearing up for OG versus Roosevelt, and it's time for the keys to victory, what the Knights need to do if they want to come away with the win against the number 1 ranked Roosevelt Rough Riders. It's keys to victory brought to you by John Fritsch with the Financial Benefits Company. Financial Benefits Company helps individuals and small businesses plan for retirement. John Fritsch can be reached at 605-334-8086. Here's your keys to victory.
Knights versus Riders, both undefeated, a lot of similarities, both highly ranked. It seems almost there are some mirror images. Tyler Feldkamp, Canyon Bauer. Brady Dannenbring, different type of quarterback, but very efficient, just like Norton. Jaden Bourne, he's explosive. And, of course, Wishart. As I look at this game, I think the key to victory is who's going to make plays in the fourth quarter. Both coaches are scheme-it-up coaches. They're going to do things that'll give them an advantage. They're going to find a scheme that'll give them an advantage early. Over time, the defense will adjust to that scheme. They'll try and take advantage of those adjustments. But in the fourth quarter, the key is going to be who's going to make plays, and I think it's going to be the physical team that wins the game in the fourth quarter. But the fact is, the team that makes plays in the fourth quarter, good example is we were one play away from going to the Dome last year. One of our best players, just didn't come up with the ball on an interception. And, the team that makes a play like that in the fourth quarter is going to win this game. I look for it to be wide open early, but it's going to come down late. Somebody's going to make a play, and I think it's going to be the physical team that makes a play, and I think the most physical player on the field is going to be the bowling ball, Wishart, and he's going to make the difference in the fourth quarter to bring the Knights the victory.
Your keys to victory, again, brought to you by John Fritsch with the Financial Benefits Company. You've been listening to the Knights Game Day Show, sponsored by First Premier Bank, Premier Bank Card, and Aaron's. Will step aside, but just for a couple minutes, because when we come back, number 1 versus number 2, the Roosevelt Rough Riders versus the O'Gorman Knights at Howard Wood Field. That's on the way right here on Real Presence Radio.
Aaron's in Sioux Falls is a lease-to-own retailer of furniture, electronics, and appliances. Aaron's offers payments that include 12, 18, and 24-month plans, and Aaron's same as cash option. They provide delivery and setup with a lease-to-own agreement, and product service and repair are also included. You can visit the Sioux Falls Aaron's store or call 988-9999. And you can also shop online at aarons.com to experience the Aaron's difference. Own it.
Providence Financial is committed to protecting what matters most to you, your family, and your future. Mark Promis, a trusted choice independent insurance agent with Providence Financial in Sioux Falls, does not work for any one insurance company. He works for you. Mark provides coverage for home, auto, business, health, life, and more. And he can customize policies for you. To make an appointment with Mark, you can call 605-376-3227, or you can visit him at 3208 East 26th Street.
Community. It's at the heart of everything we do at First Premier Bank and Premier Bank Card. From supporting area athletics to funding millions of dollars in academic scholarships, we continually seek new ways to improve and strengthen communities we serve. At the heart of these communities are people, our customers, and our employees. We work hard to ensure our customers are successful and our communities thrive. It's the Premier way. It's what community banking is all about. First Premier Bank and Premier Bank Card. Locally grown, nationally known.
Takes the snap, fakes the legacy, short loop over to Nick Billion, gets the interception at the 35, runs up the left sideline, 2 players feet as he makes his way to the end zone. Takes the snap, looks to pass, fires a long ball down the middle of the field. Canadian Bowers there to pick it up at the 40-yard line, 30-20, turns off the afterburners, touchdown O'Gorman.
The Knights are coming.
On Real Presence Radio, this is O'Gorman Knights football. Today's game is brought to you by
Catholic Family Services, Catholic Community Foundation of Eastern South Dakota, Jardine Construction, Pagan Chiropractic Clinic, Mini Critters, Barnett Vision Clinic, Crossroads, the Barnes DeMoore Group Financial Advisors at Morgan Stanley, Sioux Falls Catholic Schools, Jeff Alvey with Fairtax Inc., John Fritsch with the Financial Benefits Company, McGuire Iron, Knights of Columbus Insurance Field Agents Jason Bell-Richard and Heath Dickelman, Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade on 41st Street, First Premier Bank Card, Aaron's, Sioux Equipment Company, Ide Bailey, Ferendorf Family Chiropractic and Wellness, Mark Promis with Providence Financial, and Big Rig Barbecue.
With all the exciting action of O'Gorman Knights football, here's Michael Promis and Dan Johnson.
Welcome, welcome one and all to Howard Wood Field as we're gearing up for one of the biggest games of the season. The number 2 O'Gorman Knights getting ready to take on the number 1 ranked Roosevelt Rough Riders. Hey folks, Michael Promis here alongside Dan Johnson and Alex High on the sideline. And we're at Howard Wood Field. Dan, it doesn't get much better than this. It's going to be a fantastic game against 2 very good teams that are very equally matched.
Like you said, 2 good teams, very evenly matched, and this is going to happen right here tonight. We've been waiting for this since last spring when the schedule came out. And here we are, 1 versus number 2. Roosevelt's going to receive. They won the toss. But it is going to, it comes down to, I have to agree with John Fritsch, it comes down to who's going to make the most mistakes. Who makes the least mistakes tonight will come out victorious. They're going to have to play some great football. Heads up.
We'll get to our prayer and our starting lineups here in just a moment. Both teams are on the field, and the Knights are going to kick off to Roosevelt to start the game. The Knights in their away white jerseys with silver numbers and letters, royal blue trim, gray pants to Roosevelt's maroon tops and bottoms with gold trim. Roosevelt moving from my right to my left. Pavelko on the kick. It's picked up by number 6, Tyler Feldkamp. Brings it up to the 15-yard line, does some dancing, and he is going to be down by that O'Gorman defense. We'll step aside and listen to a prayer here by Father Tim Smith.
This is Father Timothy Smith from the Cathedral of St. Joseph. Let us pray. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen. Strong and faithful God, as we come together for this contest, we ask you to bless these athletes, keep them safe from injury and harm, instill in them respect for each other, and reward them for their perseverance. Lead us all to the rewards of your kingdom, where you live and reign forever and ever. Amen. And may Almighty God bless all gathered here, in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
All right, Father, thank you very much. Roosevelt starting out things on the ground with Jaden Bourne, the running attack that we're going to see a lot of in tonight's game. Picks up about 7 yards. Bourne gets it again, sweeps around the right side. There's a first down as he crosses the Roosevelt 30-yard line all the way up to the 32 to be exact. Let's then take a look at the starting offense for the Roosevelt Rough Riders. Starting for the Rough Riders tonight, number 68 at center, Mason Amato, At left guard, number 65, Nick Pruitt. Right guard, number 67, Sam Coles. The tackles on the left, number 66, Ben Coles, and number 63 on the right, Kurt Solberg. Strong end, number 3, Devlin McManus. Tight end, number 84, Caden Jordan. Slot receiver, number 6, Tyler Feldkamp. Wide receiver, Jacob Betancourt. The running back, as I mentioned, number 32, Jaden Bourne. And the quarterback for the Roosevelt Rough Riders tonight, number 12, Brady Dannenbrang. And those are brought to you by the Barnes & Moore Group, financial advisors at Morgan Stanley Financial Advisors in Sioux Falls. The Barnes & Moore Group can be reached at 605-338-6500, located at 300 Sherapa Place, Suite 503 in Sioux Falls. Products and services by Morgan Stanley Smith Barney LLC, member SIPC. Another run to the right side, picks up 2 yards for Roosevelt. They're getting ready for their third play of this drive, a 2nd and 8 situation on their own 34 right hash. Dannenbrang in shotgun, hands it off again, but this time into the hands of Feldkamp, the slot receiver. He's going to juke and jive and actually lose 1 yard on the carry. Dan, go ahead and give us the starting lineups for the O'Gorman Knights.
Offense or defense, the 3-4 on the line tonight. 54, John Suing, number 11, Noah Reeves. Number 44, Aiden Thomas. On your linebackers, Connor Belvaco, Alexander Kowalczyk. Number 21, C.J. Stuckel. Number 32, Evan Witchery. And your 2 safeties are 24, Jacob Bird. Number 13, Zach Norton. And your corners are Andrew Quijado and Bo Blunt.
All right, Dan, thank you very much. Again, your starting lineups brought to you by the Barnes & Moore Group, financial advisors in Sioux Falls. 3rd and 9 now for the Roosevelt Rough Riders. Ball in the middle of the field, and Dannenbrang in shotgun puts a receiver in motion from left to right, and the handoff to the motion man. That's Feldkamp. He sweeps around the right side. He's going to lose some more yards. Breaks away from the tackle, though. Throws down another player, but backs up all the way to the 24-yard line, and he should have just gone down. Dan Feldkamp did some dancing, tried to make a play happen, but inadvertently lost another 5 yards for the Rough Riders. They're going to have to punt.
But I tell you what, Bo is right there on that. Bo didn't give up. Bo pushed him back, and he broke loose, but Bo stayed right with him. Like you said, he lost 5 yards. Excellent play by number 6, Bo Blunt.
So 4th and 18 for the Rough Riders. Ball on their own 24-yard line, right hash. And back to punt for the Riders is number 3, Devlin McManus, the 6', 185-pound senior. Back to return for the Knights then. Number 24, Jacob Bird. And number 1, Caden Hackman. Here's the snap. The punt by McManus. It's got some good height. It's a little short, though. Fair catch called at the Roosevelt 42-yard line. That's the first down marker that Roosevelt was trying to get to. An 18-ish, about a 25-yard punt, rather. And the Knights are going to have excellent field position starting off this game.
And Norton was in to catch that. Norton received that fair catch instead of Hackman. I think you're going to see some different players here today, Michael. I think Coach knows he's got to have his A game ready to go. The guys have to be sharp tonight.
And we didn't have a lot of time to talk about in pregame, but like you mentioned, O'Gorman was running a 3-4 defense instead of a 4-3, bringing in the quarterback to return a punt. So like you said, a lot of different things are going to be happening in this game. Keep us on our toes. Here are the Knights, and Zach Norton in shotgun for OG. Takes the snap with trips left, but he's going to sweep around the left side, keep it himself, and lose 1 yard on the QB keeper.
There's no doubt about it. The Roosevelt defense is bigger, in size-wise than our offensive line. But again, that doesn't mean a lot of things. Aberdeen was a lot bigger, but we handled them. So it all comes down to strength and endurance here. What can our guys do? And they, if they do their schemes and do the proper blocking, we're going to be fine.
8:20 on the board here at Howard Wood Field. The Knights moving from my left to my right. That's away from the sun, by the way. Norton and shotgun spread receivers, puts a man in motion. That's Kenyon Bauer, fakes the pass, will keep it himself, and he's going to lose about 2 more yards on the QB keeper. Looked like he was going to pass, but, that was the fake. And unfortunately for O'Gorman, Roosevelt called it with a nice little blitz there and pinned OG back another 3.
They didn't buy it at all.
Not a bit.
They didn't buy it at all. They knew he was going to run.
So 3rd and 14 after the official spots for the Knights. Ball on the Roosevelt 46, toward the left hash. Here's Norton in shotgun, offset eye to his left, 2 receivers to his right, and 1 tight on the weak side. Crowd roars as Norton takes a snap, screen pass over left side, trying to hit up Tate Wishart, but it's out of his reach. Will bring up 4th down and 14 for OG. Just like that, 4 and out for both teams, Dan. The advantage for O'Gorman here, at least, is if they can pin a punt back toward that goal line. It'll be tough for Roosevelt to get anything going this next offensive drive.
I think you got a lot of nerves on both teams here, a lot of anticipation here. Big, like we said, the big game, and they just want to get out and play, and so we'll see what goes here. But they're going to punt, and Roosevelt's going to be back at the 11-yard line here.
Here's the punt by Bo Blunt. It's a little high, but he recovers. Back to return is Devlin McManus. It's going to roll dead, though, about the 15-yard line. Take a nice OG bounce and another roll all the way back to the Roosevelt 11-yard line. So, indeed, Roosevelt will be pinned back just a tidge. And we'll see what the Rough Riders can pull out this time.
No, they're going to give it to him at the 20.
You're right.
21 is where they...
They're going to say it was touched dead by one of the O'Gorman players on the bounce.
Yeah.
So there we go. Not bad field position then overall for Roosevelt. Ball on their own 21. They're going to come out with a stacked line. Dannon bring in shotgun. Behind him is Jaden Bourne. Not related to Jason Bourne, I don't think. Of course, that's a fictional character, but boy, that'd be kind of cool. 2 receivers to his left. Bourne gets the handoff. He fumbles the ball back on the 15-yard line. O'Gorman's going to recover at the 12.
Yes. Who was in on that?
You can hear the faint cheers from the O'Gorman faithful on the far sideline. And just like that, the Knights get it back within striking distance.
They stripped that ball. It was a good handoff to him, and they stripped it. And you're going to see that. You're going to see both teams do that all night long.
We'll have to look back on that because there were several players in on that, but it almost looked like one of the ends, Aiden Thomas or Noah Reeves, getting in on that one to strip the ball away. And then following up with that was were the corners and linebackers. I think I might have seen Evan Witry in there somewhere.
And Dannebring right there, he didn't have a prayer. Excuse me, but he didn't with them 2 on him.
1st and 10 for OG on the Roosevelt 14. Here's the snap and handoff to Witry. He's going to be hit as he reverses to Bauer. Bauer sweeps around left side. Back on the 23-yard line. That's where he will be smoked out of bounds. A hefty loss for OG. We heard from O'Gorman head coach Jason Poppinga in the Knights game day show in his interview that they're going to try some stuff. They're going to try to keep Roosevelt on their toes, but Roosevelt is not biting on a single thing yet, Dan.
They were with them. It's a loss of what, 8 yards?
9 yards.
9 yards. Wow.
Well, 2nd and 19 for OG, back on the Roosevelt 23-yard line. Norton in shotgun, 1 back, it's Witry. Excuse me, that's Wishart in the backfield. 2 receivers either side from the left hash. Norton takes a snap, finds Witry on the left side. He'll receive it and bring it up to about the 20-yard line. Give about 3.
So right now we got about 3 players going both ways.
Yes.
Bauer, Zach Norton, and Evan Witry.
Yes.
So that's going to have a major impact in the second half.
And from what we heard, Andrew Pujato, he is suited up, but they're trying to rest him as much as possible. A big asset, but they want him to heal up. He had that hurt hammy not too long ago. 3rd and 17 for the Knights on the Roosevelt 21. Norton takes the snap, drops back the pass, wants the long ball to the end zone. Kenyon Bauer jumps up, but just barely misses it over his head.
Another 2 inches.
Another 2 inches down a little bit, or maybe 2 more inches up on Kenyon Bauer, who's a very high jumper, by the way. Good receiver, just couldn't quite get there. So Connor Pavelko is going to step onto the field and try to pin in this field goal for OG on 4th and 17 from the Roosevelt 21. Step them back about 5 yards, plus 10
Make it about a 36-yard attempt for Connor Pavelko.
Usually Connor's there, Bauer usually catches those.
You hear the Roosevelt fans below us here, hoping for a block. Pavelko from the left hash. Schlimgen with the set. Pavelko with the kick. It's got the distance. Does it have the angle? And yes! O'Gorman Knights on the board. They put up the first points of the game against the number 1 ranked Roosevelt Rough Riders, 3-0, 5:41 to play in the first quarter. We'll step aside. This is O'Gorman Knights football on Real Presence Radio.
Whether you need to be fitted with eyeglasses or contact lenses, or you need a comprehensive eye exam, Barnett Vision Clinic in Sioux Falls utilizes the latest technology and treatments available. Barnett Vision Clinic offers a wide selection of eye care products, including sunwear, eyewear, and contact lenses to fit your specific eye care needs. Barnett Vision Clinic offers a same-day pay for patients without vision coverage. Their number is 605-335-7757 or online at barnettvisionclinic.com.
Morgan Stanley values long-term relationships with its clients. Andrew DeMore and Thaddeus Barnes, financial advisors with the Barnes DeMore Group of Morgan Stanley's Sioux Falls office, know that building relationships begins with getting to know each client. Andrew and Thad can create personal investment strategies to help meet retirement, education, and other financial needs. Andrew and Thad can be reached at 338-6500. Investments and services are offered through Morgan Stanley, Smith Barney LLC, member SIPC.
Connor Pavelko showing that his legs are nice and warmed up for this game. The Knights tack on the first points of the game against the number 1 ranked Roosevelt Rough Riders. 3-0 the Knights, 5:41 to play in this first quarter. And Connor Pavelko pins back the ball into the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Rough Riders on their own 20-yard line. Dannenbrink in shotgun. Screen over left side to Feldkamp. He'll get the pass, and he'll spring it up about 4 yards there on the reception.
One thing about Roosevelt, they're young in the backfield. I mean, you look at Feldkamp as a sophomore, Dannenbrink's a junior, Bourne is a junior. There's 3 good athletes right there.
And sometimes you look at that and think of that as a negative thing, saying, they don't have as much experience. But to me, it's a scary thing.
It is.
Because they are very good players, very experienced for their age, and they're going to be around for a little while, at least another year.
And explosive.
Yes. Now, speaking of Dannenbrink, hands it off to Bourne, and he's going to bring it up to about the Roosevelt 27-yard line. Gain of about, we'll give them about 4 yards there, bring up 3rd down and 2 for the Rough Riders, now on their own 28, ball in the middle of the field. Dannenbrink in shotgun, 1 back, 2 receivers to his left, stacked line. The Knights jump a little bit, and they're going to be called for that. That's Aiden Thomas, who jumped on the right side down to the 4-point stance, hop forward, put his fingers across that line. That'll give the Rough Riders a first down. And we talked a little bit off air before the game, Dan, and one of my big keys to victory for O'Gorman is they have to eliminate those mental mistakes. They can't beat themselves, cut back on the penalties, good routes, that kind of stuff. And so it's something we don't want to see this early on.
Correct.
1st and 10 for the Rough Riders. Now handoff to Bourne, and he's going to be stuck behind the line of scrimmage. Coming up crouched is Noah Reeves as he snuck through that line for that tackle. Loss of 1.
And that's kind of nice where, Noah's on the end there, and he's not that big, he's not that small, but he's effective when he's out there playing football. He reads the eyes. That's one thing about these guys. They can pretty much tell that hole. When you were taught younger, trying to figure out where that running back's going, but you look at his eyes, he tells you. That's a big key right there.
2nd and 10 now for the Rough Riders. Dannenbrink in shotgun, fakes the handoff, looks the pass, fires it over top, and just out of reach of his intended receiver. Looked like he was trying to hit up number 8, Javon DeVoe. I'll bring up 3rd down and 10 now for the Rough Riders.
But you look at Roosevelt, their line is averaging about 260?
I'd say so, yeah. I mean, you have Sam Coles at 290, you have Ben Coles at 275, Nick Pruitt at 265. You have the center, Mason Amato, at 359.
I had to look him up.
I believe it.
He's
a big boy.
But he can move.
Yes.
He can move for being 359, pretty salty for weighing 359.
2 receivers to the left, and Dannenbrink in shotgun, fakes the handoff to Bourne, rolls back and out right, fires a long ball down the middle of the field. It's up and off the fingertips of his intended receiver, Jacob Betancourt. He had a second chance as he fell to the ground, but the 6'2", 170-pound senior, couldn't quite make it happen. And Dan, I believe that was Zach Norton on the coverage. No, excuse me. No, it was Jacob Bird or Bo Blunt.
It was Bo.
Yeah.
It was Bo. I mean, great. He was man-to-man all the way. He wasn't giving nothing up on that one. If anything, there was going to be a flag, but it was great coverage by Bo.
So, 4th down for Roosevelt. Getting ready to punt is Devlin McManus.
Look how tight they are. They're punting into the window.
Here's the snap, the grab, and it's blocked all the way on the 20-yard line. It bounces to the ground. It's going to be scooped up then at the 22-yard line. Bo Blunt was able to chase it down. I'm not sure who that was because it looked like Bo Blunt was back there, as was Noah Reeves. They had a whole crew.
There was 4 of them that crushed that line. They blitzed it and went right through. I'm not sure what happened. Coverage got broke down on the line somewhere because you don't let 4 guys through. And they didn't come around from them. They came right up the gut, Mike.
Right up the middle.
Yeah.
So maybe Roosevelt's offensive line showing a little bit of softness here as the Knights have been able to break through on several occasions and stop the play in the backfield, including on this most recent punt. So the Knights will be looking at 1st and 10 from the Roosevelt 22. The third time they've started an offensive possession in Roosevelt territory. Well, they've only had 3 possessions.
But this is where we have to capitalize on this drive. You have to capitalize on a turnover like this when you get down, you're 2 yards away from the red zone.
Norton and Shacken, Wishart to his right, 2 receivers either side, including Tite on the weak side to the right. Norton takes the snap, keeps it himself, tucks it, runs up the right flat, cuts back in, touchdown O'Gorman!
Untouched. Just what I said, you have to capitalize. That's what Coach Poppinga did. Took it right in for the score.
Some great blocking by his wide receivers and the right side of that offensive line. And, like you said, Norton was able to cut to the flats. And as I mentioned, cut back inside. There was nobody there. Everybody sucked back into the end zone because they thought he was just going to head right there. Nice little move in there. Walked in, no problem. The Knights' first touchdown of the game. Connor Pavelko on to tack on the PAT with 3:39 to play in the first quarter. Here's the snap. Schlimgen places it. Pavelko, kicks it. It goes through the uprights, and it's good. The O'Gorman Knights lead Roosevelt 10-0 here at Howard Wood Field. We'll step aside. This is O'Gorman Knights football on Real Presence Radio.
When you look to the future, is the road there inevitable? It's not. That's why O'Gorman education matters. It's where you'll grow in your faith, be challenged, celebrate, and become part of a community. These are the moments that will shape your life. This is where your path will unfold. What are you waiting for? You belong in blue.
Eide Bailly, a CPA firm, provides tax, accounting, assurance, and business advisory services to clients across the nation. With offices in Sioux Falls and 33 locations in 14 states, Eide Bailly is the workplace to 2,000 professionals. The firm has been serving clients for over 100 years. You can contact Eide Bailly online at eidebailly.com. Eide Bailly is a proud supporter of O'Gorman Knights athletics and activities.
Knights' first couple points of the game now lead the Riders 10-0 here at Howard Wood Field. 3:39 to play in this first quarter, and the Knights' first touchdown of the game off of a QB keeper from Zach Norton over on the right side. Some great blocking from the likes of Noah Reeves, from the likes of Jackson Thompson, Logan Wolf, a couple of other receivers out there whose names I didn't quite catch. But Dan, what do you make of that offensive possession?
That was sweet. That was terrific. The way they ran that Zach right in there, but they had to capitalize, and they did. They just took one play.
And Pavelko put it into the end zone for a touchback. So here's 1st and 10 for Roosevelt on their own 20. The option play goes to Bourne. He'll pick up 1 yard off the hard hit. And Jaden Bourne, I tell you what, 185 pounds, 5'10". He's a junior, but nothing but muscle on that young man. He hits like a truck out on that field. And he's going to give those linebackers, those corners a run for their money tonight.
That corner, okay, Bird's in for the corner now, and he came up and made that tackle. Great heads up by Jacob Bird on that play.
2nd and 8 now for Roosevelt on their own 22. Dannon bringing shotgun, spread receivers, looks to pass. Plenty of time in the pocket, dumps it over top, and it's caught at the 38-yard line. Looked like that was number 84 for Roosevelt. That's Caden Jordan on the reception, a 6'2", 185-pound junior at tight end, and earns the Rough Riders a fresh set of downs.
And Alexander Kowalczyk was on that tackle. He was right with him. He caught it and had him right there.
Now, I should mention Roosevelt likes to hurry up offense, and so they're going to move things along rather quickly. Here's Dannenberg in shotgun, one back, spread receivers, pump fakes to the left, throws a long ball down the left, flats, it's up, it's caught by McManus, and he's pushed down at the 20-yard line. Just like that, Roosevelt wants their piece of the pie here as they approach the O'Gorman red zone.
Well, they need to turn around and score quick. If not, this game's going to get away. But 10-0, they're very explosive offense.
And McManus just beat everybody else downfield. Here's that quick snap handoff to Bourne. He'll dive up the left hip of the guard on the left side. He's a little slow to get up. He's all right, though, and he'll pick up about 6 yards on that carry. 2nd and 4 for Roosevelt. Now on the O'Gorman 16-yard line, left hash.
But I like Dannenberg, how he fakes it, just nonchalantly fakes, comes back, and then everybody kind of bit a little bit, and good quarterback for a junior.
Dannenberg in the pistol formation, tries the hard counts. Nobody jumps, so he looks back to head coach Kim Nelson to get the next call. 12 seconds on the play clock. He has time. Spread receivers. Here's the snap, handoff to Bourne. He sweeps left, and he'll be brought down after a gain of 1.
Noah Reeves on the tackle. These guys are pumped. Every single play, they're excited. They're high-fiving everybody. They're major game to these guys.
And like we mentioned earlier, it's homecoming for Roosevelt. A lot of excitement, a lot of energy. A great turnout here. A lot of maroon and gold in the stands. A lot of energy.
Nice crowd of blue on the other side.
3rd and 3. Dannenberg in shotgun. Running back on either side, receiver on either side. Here's the snap, the handoff over to the right side to Tyler Feldkamp. He'll bring it up to the line of scrimmage and maybe pick up a half yard after that. Bring up 4th down and about 3 for Roosevelt. We'll see if they try to put in a field goal here.
I think that's what Hoosier kicker coming out. Is he?
It's Devlin McManus. He has kicking duty, punting duty. Yep. He also returns some kicks, also plays wide receiver. Kind of like a Connor Pavelko, honestly, for O'Gorman.
No, he's in, but they're going.
Yeah, they're going to go for it. A Wildcat-type offense here. In at quarterback is Javon DeVoe. Here's the snap. He's going to dive up the middle. Did he get that first down?
Short.
I think he's going to be just a little short to him.
I think he's going to be just a touch short.
Some good push by that offensive line, but I don't think he quite got there.
But 2 or 3 inches short. When I'm looking at the ref coming in, the line judge coming in from the backside there, he was short.
They're looking at it, and yes, O'Gorman gets it over on downs. Oh, a tough loss there for Roosevelt. They really needed that offensive possession. They needed those points, and the last thing they wanted to do is march into O'Gorman's territory and give it right back.
But I like how Nelson did that. He brings in their kicker, McManus, to look like he's going to kick or whatever, and then he lines up in the Wildcat and go. And so the defense, they're kind of, great, kind of a trick deal.
Yeah, it's classic Kim Nelson, honestly.
Yeah, it is. Great coach, Kim Nelson. Wonderful.
35
coach.
Seconds to play in this first quarter. Knights lead 10-0. Norton in shotgun, trips right, one back. Norton takes the snap, fakes the handoff, rolls out left, looks to pass. He's going to be hit as he throws downfield. Caney Bauer couldn't quite get there as Norton was just absolutely clobbered by number 76, Devontae Murray.
Did you see how he rolled around and pivoted back?
Yeah.
And pivoted back to the left to throw? He gets better and better every game.
It's a very athletic move.
Yeah.
Faked the handoff, rolled around, turned around completely, and fired that one off.
You didn't see that in the Aberdeen game.
No.
He wasn't doing that. So he's learning, and he's getting more confidence every game, and he's a junior.
2nd and 10 now for the Knights. Trips right again. In the backfield with Norton is Wishart, one receiver to the left as well. Ball in the middle of the field, and here's the snap. Norton's going to fake the pass, keep it himself. Jukes left around the line. Past the 20, that should be enough for a Knights first down as the clock runs past 20 seconds here in the first quarter. And the QB keeper's been, it's been working for OG so far, Dan.
Yeah, I've been with the linebackers and stuff, they're playing a little bit soft, and they're letting him get that, which I'm shocked that they're letting Norton do that.
And hopefully the players haven't been watching too much NFL football. You can still hit the quarterback
in high school football, so I don't think that's going to be an issue tonight. But.
That can ruin a high school player watching NFL football.
Absolutely.
Like that.
And I mean that in all seriousness.
Yeah.
2 receivers either side for OG. First down and 10, and the whistles blow as the clock hits 0. 1 quarter has come and gone. The O'Gorman Knights, number 2, are leading the Roosevelt Rough Riders, ranked number 1. Excuse me, the officials are actually conferring on the field.
There's a flag, Michael, on the far sideline.
I think the question is, did time expire, or was that a delay of game?
Was there encroachment?
We'll get the official call here, folks. We might still have one more play before the end of the quarter.
Final snap, dead ball, false start, offense, number 6, 5-yard penalty, remains, first down.
So there we go.
Please wait 1 second.
All right, so offsides on OG, pins him back 5 more yards, 1st and 15 for OG. It can't end the quarter on a penalty, so there's that 1 extra second.
You got the sun to your back. I'd make a. Oh, now we have the.
Okay, and the clock is going to run off, so excuse me, they're going to allow it to end on a penalty.
Wow.
Knights lead Roosevelt 10-0 here at Howard Wood Field. We're going to head into the second quarter. We'll step aside. This is O'Gorman Knights football on Real Presence Radio.
Fairtex Inc. is a locally owned and operated tax and bookkeeping company serving Sioux Falls and the surrounding areas. We prepare tax returns for individuals and businesses and provide a range of financial services for small businesses. Fairtex Inc. is located at 1727 South Cleveland Avenue and can be reached at 605-336-1669 and online at fairtaxinc.com. Member NATP and NAEA.
Big Rig Barbecue brings a Texas-style barbecue to South Dakota. They use a real wood smoker for all their meats every single day. Big Rig Barbecue serves sliced brisket, pulled pork, chicken, and ribs. They offer pre-orders for smaller events and gatherings and cater for large events including parties, meetings, and graduations. Big Rig Barbecue's new sit-down location is on the corner of 41st and Minnesota. Their website, bigrigbbbq.net.
Start of the second quarter, here at Howard Wood Field. The Knights 10, Riders 0. And Canyon Bauer is going to get the handoff on a 1st and 15 situation. He'll pick up about 2 yards on the carry, bring up 2nd down and 13 here at Roosevelt's homecoming, Dan. And okay, well, we saw 1 quarter of play. What are your thoughts so far on OG and Rosie?
Well, 2 turnovers by Roosevelt, and the Knights capitalized on both of them. Got the field goal and the touchdown there. So that was a big difference. Mistakes is going to cost you the game. We're early yet.
Norton and shotgun spread receivers. He's going to find Bird over on the right side on the screen. He'll bring it down the right sideline, be pushed out of bounds, but not before a gain of about 10 on the reception.
Because you know Roosevelt's keen on Bauer.
Yes.
You know that. Everybody does. And so we have other weapons as well besides Canyon. You probably ranked one of the top. I know he's one of the top 10 in the state, if not the top 2 or 3 football players in the state.
And you look at all the other receivers. You have Andrew Pujado, Bo Blunt, Logan Jones, Evan Witchery, Jacob Bird, Connor Pavelko. I mean,
they
have depth.
On.
Yeah, but there's more. I got a list, people. 3rd and 2 for the Knights on the right hash on their own 32-yard line. Norton spread receivers in shotgun. Tries the hard count, gets somebody to jump. Actually, no, I think that's going to be on Canyon Bauer.
Yep. Bauer moved. And I just bragged him up.
Oh! Come on, Bauer.
Didn't I do something last year? I said something and somebody...
Yeah, you need to just stop talking, Dan. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Oh.
So, 3rd down and 7 for the Knights.
So I shouldn't bring up Brett's one of the better producers?
Yeah, you say that and the camera's going to explode or the internet's going to stop working or something like that.
Oh, you have to have fun, folks.
10:30 on the clock in the second quarter here. Knights up 10-0 over Roosevelt. All right, same formation as last. Norton takes the snap, hands it off this time to Wishart. He sweeps around the right side. There's a first down, and he's hit at the knees and flies over the defender. That was number 35 from Roosevelt. That's Eli Leonard. No, Doug Wells, That's Doug Wells on the stop. A 6 foot, 185-pound senior.
And the bowling ball needs to get some reps. needs to get the ball, and, he can go pretty good.
1st and 10 for OG. Ball now on their own 36-yard line, still on the right hash. Knights now moving into the wind, into the sun that is toward the west. Excuse me, away from the sun. No, that's toward the sun. I forget how the world works.
Physical science, Mike.
Spread receivers. Bird, screen pass on the left side this time, and he's going to be hit right away. That'll be a healthy loss for OG.
There was 5 Rough Riders on that tackle on Bird.
Be a loss of 3 officially, bring up 2nd down and 13. That's the same play, actually, we saw just a few plays ago where Jacob Bird picked up about 10 yards, but not the same result this time. Roosevelt kind of played a heavy right side there, brought down those safeties that they have. They have 3 safeties, actually, that play at any given time. Bennett Yellowbird, Nathan Moon, and Devlin McManus or Doug Wells, depending on the situation. And they brought everybody on that one. 2nd and 13, ball on the 33. In the middle of the field, spread receivers. Norton in shotgun, takes the snap, sweeps around left side on the QB keeper. Good block from Wishard as Norton brings it up to the 40-yard line. A gain of about 6 or 7 yards on the QB keeper.
So it'll be 3rd and 6 for the Knights. See how he hesitated when he was running there a little bit?
3rd down and 6, and I think he was kind of waiting for Wishard to get out there and make that good lead block, which he did. It gave him 5 more yards.
Yep.
So Norton comes out, spread receivers again on the left hash. Wishard to his left. Norton takes the snap, drops back to pass, fires it down the right side, looking for Canyon Bauer. Hit off of his hands. He threw it toward the Roosevelt end zone. Almost could have been picked off. That will fall incomplete. 4th down now for the Knights, and they're going to have to punt.
Wow, that's 3 or 4 balls to Bauer, and I don't think he's caught one yet.
I think you're right. It's kind of a dry spell for Canyon Bauer, but then again, you look at the defense, and he's being double covered almost every single play. That one, he had a fair play on the ball, but turned around and just couldn't quite get there.
We got to give credit to Waschenberger, Rentschler, Sorensen, Thompson, and Wolf on the line. Them guys doing a fantastic job here in a quarter and a half at Howard Wood for the Knights.
Bo Blunt into punt, into receive is Tyler Feldkamp. He'll pick it up at about the 30-yard line. Jukes and jives up to the 35, and he's going to be knocked down by a swarm, a gaggle, a squad of O'Gorman Knights all the way at the 30. The Knights say he fumbled it, and coming up with the ball is Caden Hackman, but the officials say, nope, he was down. And Roosevelt will go back to work at the 30.
And Hackman was the first one down there.
And I love what I'm seeing from Caden Hackman. Just a very heads-up player, a very hard worker for OG. 5'10", 145 pounds, not a big dude, but a junior. And, like I said, a workhorse. He's in on every single play, it seems.
I think he went to St. Lambert's Elementary School. I know he did.
Of course he did.
Of course he did. Did I get that in, Brett? Is that right? Okay.
8:20 to play in this second quarter. Knights lead Roosevelt 10-0. Here is Dannenbrink in shotgun, trips left, this time one back, takes the snap, looks to pass, dumps it over top, and it is caught into the hands of DeVoe. Nobody in front of him. Jukes past one defender all the way up to the Knights' 40-yard line where he will be tackled. Fantastic gain there. 26 yards for Roosevelt.
I think he was going to make it there. The kind of ball little jumped out of his hands, and then he grabbed it again. It was kind of iffy play right there.
Going to go ahead and give him one more yard. Spot at the Knights' 39-yard line on the right hash.
Very generous spot.
Here's Dannenbrink again with trips left, one back. Dannenbrink takes some time. Tries the hard count. Takes the snap this time. Pump fakes left. Looks to pass. Fires it over top. It's going to be swatted away looking for Jacob Betancourt. But some good defense there by Bo Blunt. And I think that was
Connor.
Connor Pavelka also sweeping in to break that up.
If he had caught that, he'd have got sandwiched.
Yes.
Because Connor was coming across full bore. But he was going to put a tackle on him. And he missed it. And Connor held up. I was waiting for that to happen.
So
the ball was there.
2nd and 10 now for Roosevelt on the O'Gorman 39 rather. Right hash. Trips left again. Dannenbrink with one back to his left. Looking to the sideline, waiting for a call. He got it. 3 seconds. Takes the snap, hands it off to Bourne. He crosses that line of scrimmage, maybe picks up 1 yard as that offensive line just dove up the middle, trying to take those linebackers out of play, but coming up with the tackle, Aiden Thomas, and I think that fired him up a little bit there, Dan.
You see that? He jumped his leg up and down. He is pumped. Aiden Thomas.
So they'll bring up 3rd down and 8 after the spot. Now 3rd down and 9. The board is wrong. Excuse me. Ball still on the right hash. Now the O'Gorman 38-yard line. Dannenbring sends out the same players. Trips left, but this time he's going to fake the handoff off the motion to the right side. Throws the screen to Bourne on the left side this time.
I thought maybe it was a live ball.
I thought so too. Yeah, it hit the ground as incomplete pass. Excuse me.
But was it? It wasn't a forward.
It looked like it was maybe sideways at the most. I think it was going forward a little bit, so they said it was a forward pass. That's going to bring up 4th down. No, excuse me. They did say it was lateral.
Yeah.
They brought it back about 3 yards.
The Whitehead had his right hand out. So
there
that's,
we go.
That's what I was thinking. That's what he meant by that.
So that'll actually be a loss of 3 yards as the pass sailed past Bourne, hit the turf, and went out of bounds. Roosevelt will be forced to punt now. And standing back on the Roosevelt 45-yard line is Devlin McManus. Looks like Zach Norton back to return for OG. McManus able to get this one off. Norton waves off his teammates. It bounces at the 5, and Roosevelt can't quite get to it. Goes into the end zone for a touchback. And Roosevelt had every opportunity to stop that one at anywhere between the 1 and 5, Dan.
Did you see that snap?
Yeah.
It was a low snap. I thought if we'd had any pressure on that, we'd have blocked that. I mean, he didn't get it away by any means fast. So very low snap, and so here we are, 1st and 10 at the 20.
I think that was Tate Wishart, the only player that really got around into the backfield, so some good blocking there.
What I hate about plays like that, Mike, is all of a sudden it comes drops down, and here's of the 22 guys, you got 15, 7 each team right in the middle. It's going to hit somebody, and all of a sudden the other team's going to get on and jump on it, 1st down. That's the problem with those types of kicks.
6:53 to play in this second quarter. Knights lead Roosevelt 10-0. Here are the Knights at their own 20, 1st and 10. Norton in shotgun, spread receivers, fakes the pass. He'll keep it himself, dives up the middle, finds some room to the right side, brings it past the 30, loses the ball as he hits the ground, but the official said he was down before he lost it.
Yep. Fisher was right there, line judge was right there, called him down at the 32-yard line. 1st down. Nice run by Norton.
Yeah, brings it up to the 32-yard line. 12-yard QB keeper, and he is certainly getting in his reps tonight.
I wonder how many yards he's got running tonight so far.
Norton in shotgun, trips left this time. Tate Wishart to his left. Norton takes a snap, hands off to Wishart. He loses the ball in the handoff. I think Wishart fell down on top of it, though.
Oh.
A lucky break there for OG and a loss of 1.
Wow, that's 2 plays. Glad I'm sitting down.
Couple heart stoppers there for OG fans. So they're actually going to give him a generous spot, say no loss of yards, 2nd and 10 for the Knights.
We have to capitalize on this. We have to take the ball down. 6 minutes to go in the half. We need to run the clock down, run the clock out, and score.
The Knights on their own 32 on the right hash. Norton, 4 receivers stacked up to his left, empty backfield. In shotgun. Tries the hard count, nobody bites. 5 seconds left, takes the snap, pump fakes right, now throws down the right sideline, reaching up and grabbing it is Bo Blunt. He loses the ball, though. They're going to call that incomplete.
Wow.
Bo Blunt all the way up at about the 35-yard line, and the defender is taking a little extra time to get up.
He caught it, and the ground caused the
fumble, yeah, and
incomplete.
By rule, that's an incomplete pass. I apologize. I'm not sure who that defender was, but he's now taken off his helmet, laying down on the turf. The trainers are going to be attending to him. While we have a chance, then, we will step aside. This is O'Gorman Knights football on Real Presence Radio. The O'Gorman Knights leading Roosevelt 10-0, 5:35 to play in this second quarter.
Jardine Construction is a general contractor of custom homes, remodeling, and commercial construction. Jardine Construction works in close cooperation with project owners and customers when developing a plan for a building or home. Jardine Construction has lots available in Sioux Falls, Hartford, and Humboldt. John can be reached at 605-231-0830 and Tom at 605-261-6174.
Ferendorf Family Chiropractic and Wellness is a third-generation practice focusing on inspiring patients to take control of their personal health and the health of their families. Dr. Eric Ferendorf, a 1999 O'Gorman alum, is a proud third-generation O'Gorman Cathedral High School graduate following in the footsteps of his grandfather and uncle. Ferendorf Family Chiropractic and Wellness is located at 229 West 39th Street and can be reached at 605-334-8000.
Injured Rough Rider is taken off the field. Knights now 3rd down and 10 from their own 32. Norton fakes the handoff, looks to pass now, fires it right side. And that falls incomplete. He was looking for Evan Witchery this time. We'll bring up 4th and 10 then for the Knights.
Now he overthrew that. He overthrew his receiver.
So the Knights trying to make something happen, trying to get the ball down the field, but nothing doing this time. 5:28 to play in the second quarter. Knights up 10-0 over the Rough Riders, who just haven't been able to put together a final, I should say, be able to finish an offensive drive, Dan.
Okay, they're trying to figure out what to do. Where's the punter? Come on.
15 seconds on the play clock. Yeah, Bo Blunt wasn't on the field. He's the punter, and also missing one of the linemen as well.
10 seconds.
5 seconds. Bo Blunt gets the snap, punts it away rugby style, and kicks it out of bounds about the 46, 47-yard line. I could imagine head coach Jason Popigan not too happy about that. It was a weak punt and most likely caused by Bo not being on the field on time.
What, 17-yard?
17,
18 yards.
Some math, let's see.
Oh.
Depends on the official spot. They're going to put it at the Roosevelt 49-yard line, so that'll be, 18, 19 yards, yeah.
No, but he kicked into the wind. I'll give him that. When the flag's flown pretty good here at Howard Wood.
So Dannenbring comes out in shotgun, trips right, 1st and 10 from the Roosevelt 49 left hash. Dannenbring takes the snap. It's low, but he gets it. Dumps it over top and threw it behind his intended receiver. That's Javon DeVoe. Couldn't quite get it.
Dannenbring's got a little bit different throw, doesn't he? Kind of like a sidearm.
Almost like, somewhere between a sidearm and a standard overhand pass.
In the last 2-3 passes, I've noticed that. And I've really noticed that in other quarterbacks around that we played. He kind of like a side and shoots it out, and, kind of like he's throwing like a curveball coming around at you.
Right. Yeah, it's kind of hard to watch and anticipate, I think, just because it's so different, for those backs and linebackers. 2nd and 10 for Roosevelt. Another pass to DeVoe on the right side. No, excuse me. This one went to Feldkamp. Fell incomplete, just out of reach. Brings up 3rd down and 10.
Well, if we can hold them here, they'll be punting again. So, it's kind of second quarter. We haven't really done anything. Neither team has really done anything. Roosevelt got that big pass, that 30, 40-yard pickup there right away, but, they turned the ball over and
no long, solid drives that we're used to seeing. No. 3rd and 10, trips right. Dannenbring takes the snap, and he's going to try to throw it away. A hand got on the pass. It's going to fall incomplete.
Wow.
And it looks like that was number 3 from OG, George Swaybach, that came on in and knocked that ball right out of Dannenbring's hands. Also getting in on that was number 11, Noah Reeves.
George of the Jungle comes swinging in on the vine, and he just hit. Oh, that was sweet. George of the Jungle. I love it.
4th down and 10 for the Rough Riders. Still on their own 49-yard line left hash. They look to punt. McManus ready to punt. Back to return for OG. It looks like we have Jacob Bird. Here's the snap. It's low and off center, but McManus was able to get it away. Fair catch called at the 22-yard line. Lucky break there for Roosevelt, and we'll see if the Knights can go back to work here. They lead Roosevelt 10-0, 5:01 to play in this second quarter. Battle between number 1 and number 2 in AAA football in the state of South Dakota.
Okay. George of the Jungle, he just made that great play there. Number 3, he's 17, he's a senior, his favorite fruit steak. Plans to go to college out of state. And he wants to give a shout-out to Grandma Karen, who lives in Phoenix, Arizona. A little bit warmer in Phoenix today.
Yeah, I'd say so.
But, hey, Mr. George Schwabach, your grandson, Karen, doing a fabulous job tonight. You'd be very proud of him.
So the Knights take possession at the 22. Here's the snap.
Norton fakes, keeps himself up the middle, past the 40, cuts back toward the O'Gorman sideline at the 50, the 40. He strips another tackle, and he walks out of bounds back at the 36-yard line.
You see the way he was shooting and jiving there? He picked up another 20 yards. I thought he was going to get tackled back there, but heads up. Oh, my gosh.
And it looks, he sold that pass so well. He sat back there, looked like he was going to try to pass or maybe an option or something. Didn't do that. Tucked it. Roosevelt was spread out, found a hole, took it. Some great running there, and a fantastic gain for OG. 45 yards?
45 you pick up run by. That is fabulous. Okay, we got a minute, 4.5 to go here in a half.
First and 10, OG, Roosevelt 36, right hash. Norton, 2 receivers either side, takes the snap, throws it to Canyon Bauer left side, but that's going to be swatted out of the air by the end.
Kusler.
Sweeping around the right side. Yeah, that's Kusler. So that'll bring up 2nd down and 10 for the Knights. I think Kusler was wanting a fumble on that, but no, sir.
He's 6'2", 205. Playing linebacker. He came around linebacker and got his hands up. That's what that's what they teach you to do. But
Gorman from the right hash, still on the 36. Norton comes out, 2 receivers to his left, 1 to his right. Wing back on the right side as well. Here's the snap. Fake the handoff to Wishart. Norton keeps himself, dives up the middle. This time he's going to be thrown down at the 31-yard line.
But he picked up 5 or 6 yards.
5 or 6 yards,
yeah.
Good enough. That's all you need. If you could get 5 or 6 yards every single play, you'll win every football game you've ever played.
But I love how they're biting on that handoff to Nate on the bowling ball. It's a great fake.
So 3rd down and 5 for the Knights. Ball on the Roosevelt 31-yard line. Just a tick under 4 minutes to play in this first quarter. From the right hash, Norton, 2 receivers either side. Tate Wishart to his right. Roosevelt playing it tight. Norton takes the snap. Screen pass over right side to Bauer. Bauer down the right sideline is going to be knocked on his caboose past that 30, about the 26-yard line. He took one heck of a hit, Dan.
Wow. He got up fast.
Going to say 4th down and 2 for the Knights. Ball spotted on the 28-yard line. It would be a 38-yard plus 5, so about a 43-yard kick against the wind for Connor Pavelko.
Producer extraordinaire, how far can Connor kick? Into the wind.
35. I agree with 35. That's all. Not quite there.
Nope.
So, offense stays in. Norton comes in under center. 1 back, straight behind him. 2 receivers tight either side, stacked up on top of each other. Norton takes a snap, pitches it out right side. It's caught and juking and jiving past that 1st down marker. I believe that's...
Is that Bird?
I think that was Jacob Bird.
24, yeah.
Yes, sir. Excuse me. 1st down OG, Jacob Bird on the carry.
I thought it was Bauer.
I thought it was Bauer, too. That's why at the end of the run, I was like, I better not quite say a name here.
That's what I was like. Let's see.
1st and 10 now for OG on the 4th down conversion. Ball on the Roosevelt 24, still on that right hash.
Okay, 2:44 to go in a half. So now the clock. We have to watch the clock here, folks.
Norton comes out in shotgun. Same formation we saw the last play, except Norton's in shotgun, not under center. Here's the snap. Canyon Bauer behind him, fakes that handoff to Canyon Bauer, that pitch that we saw in that last play. And this time Norton will dive up the middle. He'll maybe pick up a yard.
I like the call point tonight. I really like the way Coach Bodnick is calling the plays.
You know, those little trick plays weren't working in the beginning of the game. I mean, they just weren't.
That's on my notes.
They scored on the bread and butter plays.
Yep.
But now they're starting to work. I think they finally got Roosevelt committed toward certain plays that anytime they mix something up a little bit, Roosevelt tends to bite just at least a little bit more.
They bite and they capture on it and go.
So 2nd and 9 for the Knights, or maybe 9.5. Norton and shotgun, spread receivers. Here's the handoff, fake handoff to Wishart, Norton keeps himself, rolls around right side, and he'll be stuffed at the original line of scrimmage for a loss of about half a yard.
Ooh. Okay, minute 38 to go at halftime. Knights up 10-0 here. Knights are driving on the 24-yard line.
Minute 30 to play in the second quarter. By the way, coming up at halftime, we'll have our Knights halftime show, sponsored by your Knights of Columbus Insurance Field agents, Jason Bell, Richard, and Heath Dickelman. We'll break down everything we saw in this first half of play, get you some stats, some info, and the newest edition of Inside O'Gorman at halftime, right here on Real Presence Radio.
Knights have all 3 timeouts.
Two receivers either side for Norton. Tries to hit up Wishart on the right side on the screen. He's able to do so, but for a loss of about 2 yards. And like you mentioned, Dan, you have timeouts. It's 4th down and about 12 now, under a minute to play in the second quarter. And Roosevelt actually wants to take a timeout here.
Okay.
Roosevelt wants to take a timeout, and you know what? We'll go ahead and do the same thing. The Knights lead Roosevelt 10-0 just before half. You're listening to O'Gorman Knights football on Real Presence Radio.
Hey everybody, Steve Splonskowski here, Executive Director for Real Presence Radio, and I want to thank you for being a part of our live drive last week here on the Real Presence Radio Network. It was such a great time to get together and really celebrate our faith and celebrate Catholic radio as we cover the Upper Midwest with the message of Jesus Christ and His gospel, really bringing souls to Christ. So thank you for calling in, and you know what? If you weren't able to call in, if you missed the hours of our live drive, you can still call in and pledge at 1-877-795-0122. You can also pledge online at yourcatholicradiostation.com. We need your help. If you've been listening to Catholic radio and haven't yet become a member of this Catholic radio family by donating, we need your help now. 1-877-795-0122 is that number. Thank you and God bless.
Fourth and 10 for OG, under a minute to play in the second quarter. Connor Pavelko on to kick from the 26-yard line. Here it is. It's a bad kick into the wind, and it barely gets past that goal line. So the Knights turn it over on downs on that 26.
I think they muffed it. I think they got a touch of it because it just, fell right away. I think he got the hit. This is not good. Roosevelt 49 seconds, ball on the 20. They got 80 yards to go. And 2 timeouts for Roosevelt.
So they have enough time to do something. They still need to go. Well, actually, they're going to put it back at the 20-yard line for the missed field goal. It did go into the end zone, meaning it is officially a touchback. So they're going to have 80 yards to go if they want to put up some points in this game, or at least bring it within field goal distance, which means bringing it up to probably about the 20-yard line. First and 10, Dannenbring in shotgun, trips left, 1 back. Here's the snap. Dannenbring looks to pass as he rolls out right. Fires it away down the right sideline. It's intercepted by Andrew Pujato.
Oh, sweet.
Andrew Pujato at the 35-yard line. Dannenbring was looking for Devlin McManus, but Pujato just kind of slipped in there and grabbed it.
Now, on that, did you see 84 come running out there at the very end? Roosevelt only had 10 players in the huddle, and they came to line, and the 11th man came running out. It's a little miscommunication by Roosevelt here. It's all,
It's kind of a mind game, really, at this point. So, and we talked, again, before the game started. My biggest thing was the team that's going to win makes the least amount of mistakes. And right now it's O'Gorman. Credit where credit's due. They're playing a tight game, and Roosevelt just a couple hiccups here and there that the Knights have been able to capitalize on. Again, credit to the Knights for capitalizing.
Okay, 43 seconds, 3 timeouts, ball on the 40 or 36-yard line. We need to do something here.
Norton, 2 receivers either side in shotgun, and Tate Wishart, to his right. Roosevelt playing up, showing blitz. Norton takes the snap, fires the long ball down the right sideline. Uncontested catch by Nathan Bird. That's Jacob Bird. Goes into the end zone, touchdown.
Nobody hit him, Mike. He was on. Nobody hit him.
Nobody was
Missed coverage by Roosevelt. Major mental mistake.
Like I mentioned, they were blitzing. They brought in the corner all the way from the left side, which was actually number 6, Tyler Feldkamp. He cut in and left the receiver wide open. The defenders were crashing. Jacob Bird was completely wide open just down the right sideline for an easy 36-yard touchdown reception for the Knights with 36 seconds to play before half. Connor Pavelko on to kick the PAT.
Oh, we're getting excited.
Here's the snap, the place, the kick by Pavelko. It's a little left. Did it go through, though? No. Connor Pavelko, a rare miss on the PAT, so the score remains 16-0. Again, 36 seconds to play in this second quarter. We'll step aside, but for just a moment, this is O'Gorman Knights football on Real Presence Radio.
Hey everyone, this is Heather Caro. Coming up September 19th through the 21st is Real Presence Radio's Fall Live Drive. Please plan to call in and pledge your support. And if you're listening on 94.5 or 91.3 FM in Sioux Falls or 88.9 in Aberdeen, especially make a note to call in when Sherry Brownrigg and I host on Thursday, September 20th from 11 to 2 and on Friday, September 21st from 7 to 9. We need your help to support our radio stations and be active members of this family of faith and hope.
Another score for OG and a clutch one just before half. Remember, the Knights deferred going into this game, which means they get the ball right back at the start of the third quarter.
Okay, still 36 seconds to go, so it's a little bit of danger time here for the Rough Riders. They're very explosive, so we'll see what they do here.
Pavelko on to kick it away for the Knights. And to return, Tyler Feldkamp and Devlin McManus. It's going to be a short squib kick. It'll touch down at about the 30-yard line. It'll be picked up, and the Knights make the tackle at the 25. Roosevelt will go to work with 34 seconds to play. Let's pause for station identification. This is O'Gorman Knights football on Real Presence Radio.
You're listening to the RPR Network. FM 94.5, KGWD Sioux Falls, and FM 91.3, KSTJ Hartford. Real Presence Radio, your family of faith and hope.
Roosevelt comes out, trips right. Dannenbring with one running back to his left and one receiver spread out to the left side, but flags fly as the ball is snapped.
You know, on that kickoff, who was down there? Hackman.
Caden Hackman.
Yep, he is fast.
Defense of the late illegal substitution. Be 5 free yards for Roosevelt, but will it help with 32 seconds to play? Ball now on the Roosevelt 31.
Mental mistake.
Another whistle as the ball is placed.
Please put 34 seconds on the game clock.
Back judge correcting the umpire, telling him put a couple more seconds on that ran off after the snap.
And he is the official clock person, keeper of time.
So, still trips right. Dannenbring looks to pass, rolls out left side, looking for that lone receiver, but he tripped as he ran his route. That's Devlin McManus. He went down the field, tried to cut out to the left, and just tripped a little bit. There was no pressure or anything, just flat out tripped, and Dannenbring committed. So, 2nd and 5 for the Rough Riders. 31 seconds to play in this second quarter. Roosevelt crowd getting just a little quiet, so they're nervous for their homecoming team. So the Knights lead Riders 16-0 here at Howard Wood Field.
Look how deep we're playing.
Spread receivers for Dannenbring. Looks to pass, fires the ball down the middle of the field. Intercepted again! Moving down the left sideline, Bo Blunt breaks past a couple receivers and a late flag coming in after the interception. I think that'll be block in the back on Canyon Bauer, but nonetheless, the Knights get the ball right back in Roosevelt territory.
Sorry.
You're calling the game over me again there, Dan.
Oh, man, this is wonderful. 2 interceptions to last like 20 seconds.
So, yeah, block in the back is going to be called on OG. It'll be a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, I believe, which was the 35-yard line. We'll kick the Knights all the way back to the 45-yard line. So a healthy amount of field to play with 20 seconds to play.
But we got the ball.
Right.
That's a major mental mistake. But again, we got the ball at the 45, like you said, and we got 20 seconds to go. Okay, what would you do?
Why not try for the long ball?
That's what I...
Try 4 plays with the long ball. Worst case scenario, you turn it over with about 2 seconds to play, and or maybe even just on that 4th play, just run the ball and let the clock run out.
And we still got 3 timeouts.
But remember, the Riders do have 2 timeouts.
Yep.
So we'll see. Norton, spread receivers from the left hash, 1 back. From the 45, takes the snap, rolls out left. No pass this time. Moves down the left sideline. He's pushed out at about the 44, 43-yard line for maybe a gain of 1.
Stops the clock.
About 15 seconds to play. Washes off 5 seconds. 2nd and 9 officially for the Knights. Ball on the Roosevelt 44-yard line.
So unless we get it close, we know the field goal option's out.
Right.
Going in the win. We know that. So he needs to get the ball down to about the 15?
I'd say 15, 20-yard line at the most.
For Connor?
At the best, I should say. Spread receivers again. From the left hash, Norton shotgun, one back, takes the snap, looks to pass, plenty of time, fires it down the middle of the field. It's caught by Canyon Bauer at the 27-yard line, and the Knights call a timeout with 7 seconds to play in this second quarter. The Knights lead 16-0 over the Riders, and are hoping to tack on one more score before that halftime rolls around. By the way, coming up at halftime, we'll have your Knights halftime show, sponsored by your Knights of Columbus Insurance field agents, Jason Bell, Richard, and Heath Dickelman. We'll have hopefully some stats. The stat system is down, but we'll try to get those up for you here at halftime. We'll talk about this first half of play. We'll also have the newest edition of Inside O'Gorman, where we're going to talk about a little O'Gorman golf. Brett Byler got to sit down for a fantastic interview. Be sure not to miss that, and then we'll get you ready for that second half of play.
And he's the new coach.
Yeah.
First-year coach.
And it's escaping me, Brett. I apologize.
Oh,
Ben Reiter.
Reiter.
I was hoping not to expand on it, so I didn't have to, admit I forgot the name. But Ben Reiter, for O'Gorman, first-year head coach, and it sounds like they're contesting for possibly a state title.
Well, we've had that the last 2, 3.
Yeah.
3 out of 5 years.
Last 5. Yeah.
Golf team's been pretty salty as well.
As salty indeed, as salty as you can be for the game of golf.
Yep.
Both teams are on the field. 1st and 10 for OG from the Roosevelt 29. 7 seconds to play before half. Norton spread receivers. Looks to pass. Fires the ball down the right sideline. Looks for Bird. Can't quite get there. Ran into the defender. Shouldn't be a pass interference called there, as Bird just flat out ran into the defender. Rolled off 6 seconds. 1 second to play before half. And, break out your rosaries, I suppose, folks. It's Hail Mary time.
Hang on, let me get it out.
There we go. Everybody got their rosaries.
Right here, folks.
There's that one. You got a fancy case for yours. Mine's just a cord. Shout out to Megan Schultz from South Dakota State University, up there in Aberdeen now. But timeout by O'Gorman as they try to get something going here. Again, looking at 2nd and 10.
They need to make a better case than this.
Yeah, those are bad cases for rosaries.
I mean, I get them. I got 2 rosaries in here. I got a little ring rosary.
Let's see what you got. Like a wood one, or
no? Look at this. It's gorgeous.
No, I've seen that, but no, your actual rosary.
Yeah. It's a Knights of Columbus rosary.
Oh, fantastic! Look at that. Oh, nice craftsmanship.
It's gorgeous. Yep.
Absolutely beautiful.
A little worn from being in there, but it's...
And only here, folks, on Real Presence Radio, can you listen to a football game and have them talk about rosaries.
And we should.
And we should, absolutely. PSA for the day, be sure to pray your rosary.
Well, isn't that coming up here like a week from Sunday? Rosary, I read something. Well, I heard it today on the radio, on RPR. There's a whole nationwide deal coming up with the rosary.
Oh, yeah.
It escapes me. I'm sorry. I was waiting. I was in the car waiting for...
We should be prepared better for this.
Yes, thank you. I thought Brett would know.
Both teams are on the field now. 16-0, Knights with the lead, and a single second to play before half. The Knights, one more play, assuming all goes well.
Canyon on defensive penalty.
Yep. 2 receivers either side. Norton, 1 back. It's probably going to be a pass. And it's probably going to be in the end zone. Norton takes the snap, looks to pass, fires the long ball immediately left, and looks for Canyon Bauer a little early on the pass. Bauer was nowhere near where the ball hit down, and that is your first half of play. After one half, the Knights lead 16-0. We'll step aside when we come back. The Knights halftime show, sponsored by your Knights of Columbus Insurance field agents, Jason Bell, Richard, and Heath Dickelman. That's on the way right here on Real Presence Radio.
Need repairs on gas pumps, tanks, and air compressors? Sioux Equipment Company can help. They serve Sioux Falls and the surrounding areas. Sioux Equipment Company also offers services for lifts, signs, decals, and tank truck equipment. Sioux Equipment Company at 605-334-1653 is a supporter of O'Gorman Knights athletics and activities.
Real Presence Live.
This is Nathan Sather, your host for the next Real Presence Live, Tuesday morning from 9 to 11 Central. We'll hear from Angela Gross, a local teacher at St. Joseph's School in Moorhead, Minnesota, about the special reward she recently received and what it means to her. Then October marks the month dedicated to the Most Holy Rosary. We'll visit with Bishop LaVore of the Diocese of New Ulm about why we dedicate an entire month to this devotion. And can praying the Rosary really be attributed to some military victories? All this Tuesday, 9 to 11 Central.
Do you have daily pain and discomfort that includes headaches, neck and back pain, and arm and leg numbness? Dr. Mark Hagan with Hagan Chiropractic Clinic provides gentle adjusting, x-ray evaluation, rehabilitation, and massage therapy to treat these symptoms. Hagan Chiropractic Clinic is located on 14th and Cliff, 6 blocks north of Avera Hospital.
Hi, this is Dr. Mark Hagan with Hagan Chiropractic Clinic. Don't say ouch, call me at 361-OUCH.
Your family is depending on you. Your family is looking to you to make sure they're safe, protected, and taken care of. Knights of Columbus Insurance offers the protection they need, whether it's term life or whole life, long-term care insurance, disability income insurance, annuities, retirement planning, estate planning, or an insurance analysis. Please call Jason Bell Richard at 605-305-0736 or Heath Dickelman at 605-351-7978. Knights of Columbus Insurance.
On Real Presence Radio, welcome to the Knights Halftime Show, sponsored by your Knights of Columbus field agents, Jason Bell Richard and Heath Dickelman. Now, with the Knights Halftime Show, here's Michael Promis and Dan Johnson. Welcome into the Knights Halftime Show, sponsored by your Knights of Columbus Insurance field agents, Jason Bell Richard and Heath Dickelman. The Knights lead the Riders 16-0 here at Howard Wood Field on Roosevelt's homecoming. Remember, folks, that's number 1 ranked Roosevelt Rough Riders and the number 2 ranked O'Gorman Knights for the it's the battle for the no-loss season, at least so far. And the Knights have well capitalized on a lot of Roosevelt mistakes, Dan. Roosevelt came out looking a little sloppy early on, made some mistakes. The Knights got some fantastic field position, put up an early field goal, and then a touchdown in the first quarter and in the second quarter as well. And the defense, credit where credit's due for O'Gorman, have just stopped Roosevelt from doing much of anything.
But we talked about mental mistakes. In the first half, mental mistakes, edge goes to Roosevelt.
Yes.
They had 4 turnovers. You don't turn the ball over 4 times in a half and score points. You know, that's what happened, and you have to capitalize on that. We didn't capitalize on every turnover. If we would have, it would be pretty much 24 to nothing right now. But again, we're 16 to nothing, and we missed that field goal. You know, we should be up a little bit more. You know, we're not playing the best football we can, but we're playing darn good, I will tell you that.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think it's been a good game for the Knights. A lot of running plays, I should say, coming from Zach Norton, who's also passing the ball very well. Several receptions by Jacob Bird, Canyon Bauer, who's also missed several, but that's because he's just been covered like crazy. But it's opened up a lot of other receivers to make some good plays.
It opens up some different avenues, like we talked about. We have a major arsenal besides Bauer. We talked about him being double teamed and stuff. We got Bird, Jones, Bill Vockel's out there. I mean, we have so many weapons in the offense, but we're keeping Roosevelt, on one, leaning them, because with Norton running everything, the options that he can do is keeping them, offset. They don't know what to do. And their defense, I'm sure they're going to make some adjustments at halftime, figure out what we got to do to stop Norton.
Right. And they haven't really come up with a solution yet. I mean, it's been a tough going for Roosevelt. And like we mentioned, the Knights have just capitalized on that, and that really brings us up to speed of where we are. By the way, a couple corrections from the first half. This is kind of the part where we eat crow and apologize for messing up some things. I said Nathan Bird earlier, Jacob Bird. Apparently a lot of angry O'Gorman fans in the stands. I got a text from a religion teacher, or I should say theology teacher extraordinaire, Rochelle Lorette, who is being heckled, or maybe they're heckling me. Probably a whole lot of all that. But I apologize. Nathan is a good friend, older brother of Jacob Bird. I apologize that. And then Brandon Clark, production director at Real Presence Radio. It's the Rosary Rally. Rosary Rally.
Sunday.
That's a tongue twister.
A week from Sunday.
A week from Sunday. You can pray the Rosary with Bishop Swain every night at 8:30 right here on Real Presence Radio. So there we go.
And on that last play is that Schlimgen threw it to Norton.
Right.
And that's where I'm like, well, that's not Norton.
It was so unexpected that we totally missed that one.
But
so
I had a hard time figuring, okay, he took a timeout, 1 second to go, and it was a trick play. I mean, keep everybody off guard. So
So that is, we apologize for those corrections. Hopefully there's no fines or anything. I don't even think that's a real thing. But anyway, we apologize, and we'll do better next time. You're listening to the Knights Halftime Show, sponsored by your Knights of Columbus Insurance Field Agents, Jason Bell-Richard and Heath Dickelman. We'll step aside when we come back. The newest edition of Inside O'Gorman right here on Real Presence Radio.
Jardine Construction is a general contractor of custom homes, remodeling, and commercial construction. Jardine Construction works in close cooperation with project owners and customers when developing a plan for a building or home. Jardine Construction has lots available in Sioux Falls, Hartford, and Humboldt. John can be reached at 605-231-0830 and Tom at 605-261-6174.
Financial Benefits Company helps individuals and small businesses prepare for retirement. Financial Benefits Company's philosophy is safe principal, positive return. You can reach John Fritsch at 605-334-8086 and on the web at fbcjf.com. Financial Benefits Company is a proud sponsor of Catholic Radio.
Your family is depending on you. Your family is looking to you to make sure they're safe, protected, and taken care of. Knights of Columbus Insurance offers the protection they need, whether it's term life or whole life, long-term care insurance, disability income insurance, annuities, retirement planning, estate planning, or insurance analysis. Please call Jason Bell-Richard at 605-305-0736 or Heath Dickelman at 605-351-7978. Knights of Columbus Insurance. Real Presence Live.
Hey everyone, Nathan Sather here, your host for the next Real Presence Live. Are you willing to do whatever it takes to live out your Catholic faith, even if it means losing your job? Some in the medical field might have to answer this question in the coming years, especially as talk of euthanasia grows in Europe. And we'll hear from one doctor about where he stands on this question. Then, prayer warriors throughout the area are back praying in front of local abortion mills for 40 days. Find out how you can be a part of this effort. All this Tuesday morning, 9 to 11 Central.
Welcome back to Inside O'Gorman, sponsored by the Sioux Falls Catholic Schools. I'm now joined by O'Gorman Boys Golf coach Ben Reiter. Ben, this is your first year coaching the O'Gorman Boys Golf team. You're an O'Gorman alum. What has this season been like so far for you?
First off, Brett, I'd like to thank you for having me on the show. You know, the season has been great so far. We did start out by winning our first tournament of the year, the Washington Invitational. And, you know, we have played steady ever since. We played consistently, placed in the top 5 in most of the tournaments. You know, we've also had some really good individual play with some runner-up finishes and many top 10 medalists. It's been a really good year. For my first season, very surprised at how fast the season went. It's pretty incredible.
And a lot of times as a new coach, sometimes you can kind of lean on your seniors to kind of help the transition process and everything. What have the kids been like to coach this year, and have some of the seniors like a Blake Dornbush or a Jack Johnson, have they been helpful for you as a first-year coach?
Absolutely, yes. The boys have been phenomenal to coach. Definitely been leaning on my senior leadership from Blake and Jack. They've been very influential as far as, even choosing uniform selections, and they've definitely been mentoring many of the younger players. They've just both been great assets, Blake and Jack. Really fortunate to have them on the team.
Your most recent meet, Coach, you guys competed at was the Metro meet this past Tuesday, kind of as your last tune-up before the state meet this coming Monday and Tuesday up in Brookings. At the Metro, you finished tied for second. How happy were you with the way your team played in the Metro, and was there a golfer or golfers that performances stood out to you?
I was very happy with the way the boys played in the Metro Conference. It was very tough conditions out there, cold and wet. Extremely happy with the way we finished up. Tied for second. We were 3 shots behind Roosevelt. We did have some very good individual standouts. We had 3 Knights finish in the top 5. Blake Dornbush was runner-up. Phil Anderson was 3rd place, and then William Sanford actually was tied for 4th, and I did think that William played very well. He actually had 26 putts. He finished 2 under in his last 4 holes to post a solid score of 76.
Blake Dornbush is one of your 2 returners from last year's state golf winning team. He finished 8th last year at the state golf tournament with Coach Jansa. Talk about his performance this season. It looks like every meet he's been a top 1 or 2 performer for you, and just talk about his attributes that he has that makes him a good golfer for you.
Yes, he is extremely fortunate to have Blake on the team. He was selected as our team captain this year and has done a remarkable job. He's been a strong leader. He's led the team by example. He's one of the hardest workers on the team. He's shown just a high level of commitment on and off the course. Really like his positive attitude. He's kept the team unified, a great team player all around. And then as a golfer, he puts in the time practicing. His full swing is very solid. He has excellent short game. Blake is in control of his emotions and never loses focus, with wanting to play golf at a high level.
Who is a golfer coach on your team that you can say has improved the most now compared to back when you started the season in August?
I'm going to have to go with my senior, Jack Johnson, as the most improved golfer. He was struggling a little bit with his game early in the season. I had him in our 8th position, but he has just steadily improved and posted great numbers, and now he's in our 5th position. He stayed focused, and he really wanted to make that top 6. Really happy with, him solidifying that 5th spot. He posted some really good rounds in the 70s and low 80s, and like I said, he's contributed towards the team scores. Looking forward to him playing in Brookings. He likes the course. When we were up there last, he did put up a 79, so he likes that, and I think his game's peaking at the right time.
And you mentioned how fast the season goes for you, Coach. You started in August, and now we have just one meet left, which is the state tournament this coming Monday and Tuesday up in Brookings, a course that your boys played at up at the Brookings Invite on September 10th. Do you think having your team perform at that course earlier this season might help you in the state tournament being more familiar with it?
Yes, I do. Absolutely. I think playing that Brookings Invite, will benefit us, here in the state tournament. Zach Curd, he was our low night with a round of 77. And then we did have, Phil Anderson posted a 78, and then Jack Johnson a 79, and Cal Irvin a 79. I'm sure the course is going to be playing different. It's a little bit colder, so I'm sure the course is kind of firming up a little bit. We've had a couple practice rounds, and, as a team, we're comfortable playing Brookings Country Club. We really enjoy the fast greens. Looking forward to showcasing our talent and, in the preparation that we've put in.
You have 2 players, Coach, on your 6-man rotation that's going to be in the state tournament competing that were on the team last year that won the state title in Phil Anderson and Blake Dornbush. The rest of the guys, this will be their first appearance. Do you think this team feels any extra pressure going to the state meet as defending champions and, probably maybe a bullseye on your back all season long? How have they handled that pressure so far?
I think they've handled the pressure really well. I think, Blake and Phil may feel a little bit more than the other 4 on the team, but, we're confident with our games. We enjoy Brookings Country Club. We just have a great team right now. We have players that enjoy golf. They really like the competitive environment. We know what we have to do inside and outside of the ropes, and, we've got a good game plan. Feeling pretty comfortable with coming up with the state tournament here next Monday and Tuesday.
And finally, what does your team need to do to have success at the state meet in Brookings on October 1st and 2nd? What will be your message to the boys before they go out and start the first round of golf on Monday?
Definitely stay focused. For sure. It's a 2-day tournament, but, the team, they've built good relationships. The team is very strong right now. I think they'll be encouraging each other to play well, and most important, it's kind of been my motto all year, is just to have fun. Go out there and enjoy golf, enjoy your fellow competitors, and, like I said, add them up at the end. So just have a great time, and, like I said, stay focused.
Thank you so much, Coach Ryder, for your time, and good luck to you and your team at the state golf meet this week. Go Knights.
Go Knights. I actually want to say one more thing, Brett. I'd like to thank, the parents of the players. They've just been wonderful to myself and supported the team every step of the way, and I'm looking forward to their presence in Brookings as well. Go Knights.
That was Brett Byler with O'Gorman head boys golf coach Ben Ryder, the newest edition of Inside O'Gorman, brought to you by the Sioux Falls Catholic Schools. Their 6 elementary schools, junior high and high school, exemplify gospel values, strong student achievement, and community service. Each and every school is dedicated to the mission of forming a community of faith and learning by promoting a Catholic way of life through gospel values and academic excellence. We'll step aside, and as we carry on with the Knights halftime show, sponsored by your Knights of Columbus Insurance field agents, Jason Bell-Richard and Heath Dickelman, we'll come back, get you a couple more pieces of O'Gorman things, and then we'll get you ready for the second half of play. The Knights at half lead Roosevelt 16-0. That's on the way right here on Real Presence Radio.
Your family is depending on you. Your family is looking to you to make sure they're safe, protected, and taken care of. Knights of Columbus Insurance offers the protection they need, whether it's term life or whole life, long-term care insurance, disability income insurance, annuities, retirement planning, estate planning, or insurance analysis. please call Jason Bell Richard at 605-305-0736 or Heath Dickelman at 605-351-7978. Knights of Columbus Insurance.
Financial Benefits Company helps individuals and small businesses prepare for retirement. Financial Benefits Company's philosophy is safe principal, positive return. You can reach John Fritsch at 605-334-8086 and on the web at fbcjf.com. Financial Benefits Company is a proud sponsor of Catholic Radio.
When you look to the future, is the road there inevitable? It's not. That's why O'Gorman education matters. It's where you'll grow in your faith, be challenged, celebrate, and become part of a community. These are the moments that will shape your life. This is where your path will unfold. What are you waiting for? You belong in blue.
Community. It's at the heart of everything we do at First Premier Bank and Premier Bank Card. From supporting area athletics to funding millions of dollars in academic scholarships, we continually seek new ways to improve and strengthen communities we serve. At the heart of these communities are people, our customers, and our employees. We work hard to ensure our customers are successful and our communities thrive. It's the Premier way. It's what community banking is all about. First Premier Bank and Premier Bank Card. Locally grown, nationally known.
Welcome back into the Knights Halftime Show, sponsored by your Knights of Columbus Insurance Field Agents, Jason Bell Richard and Heath Dickelman. A few more pieces of information on upcoming O'Gorman events, Mr. Johnson.
Okay, you have this coming up this week. We have tomorrow, girls tennis invite here in Sioux Falls. Cross country is in Minneapolis tomorrow. Cheerleading and dance at the Pentagon here. And volleyball is at Pier for the Governors out there. But next week is the state soccer starts. And O'Gorman will be hosting Tuesday, October 2nd, home against their seeded number 4th in the seed. They'll be playing Sioux Falls, Washington at the MAC at O'Gorman. So if they win, they go on to play Saturday. And so the finals, the state championship for the women's soccer is actually October 13th at Sioux Park out in Rapid City. A little bit about the boys golf team. It's Monday, Tuesday at the Brookings Country Club. Fabulous course up there by, what's the lake? I just lost it. Lake Campbell.
There you
go. They tee up at 9 o'clock, and their 6-member team, they take the top score, the 4 best out of the 6 each day. And O'Gorman, like we said, they've won it 3 of the last 5 years. And, of course, Jack Johnson, senior, most improved this year coming up. Dornbush, senior, but you got Blake Dornbush, Phil Endelson, Will Sanford, Zach Kurd, and Jack Johnson, and Owen Holmes. That's the 6 representing the Knights next week up in Brookings. So, and we got a big game going on here after this, and Mr. Cole's in the building here from Brookings to do that game. We have Brookings, which is ranked number 5, playing Sioux Falls, Washington here after this game is over here.
And that should be a very interesting game as well. I might stick around a little bit.
But the interesting game is this one right here that we're watching.
Absolutely.
That you're calling.
The Knights 16-0 over the Riders here at halftime as we march along here to the Knights halftime show, sponsored by your Knights of Columbus Insurance Field Agents, Jason Bell Richard and Heath Dickelman. And so on that note, Dan, what are a couple things you think the Knights need to focus on in this second half if they want a chance to beat this number 1 ranked Roosevelt team?
I wouldn't change anything. I would just keep running the ball at them, and the option there for Zach to run, and just keep, see what options are there and go. But I mean, Bauer's not really into this game. Bowers need to get into this game. He needs to make those catches and make those plays, and then I think we can kind of put this one away. But to keep them scoreless, if we get through scoreless, third quarter. But like we talked earlier, it's going to come down to the fourth quarter. Who's got athleticism in the fourth quarter, and who's going to not make the mistakes to win this ball game?
And we have Alex High up here as well. Mr. High, your thoughts?
Protect Connor Pavelko. On that missed extra point and the missed field goal, it was pressure, I think, that got to him. On that, specifically on the field goal, I think Roosevelt was able to get a hand on it. I don't think it's the wind. The wind is actually quite minimal. That flag is blowing harder up there than it is down on field level. So I think protecting Connor Pavelko so we can get those points. We should have about 20 points right now. But some lack of protection on the field goal is hurting us.
Absolutely. And I'm going to stand by what I said at the beginning of the game. The team that makes the fewest mental mistakes is going to be the team walking away with the W, because let's face it, these teams are very equally matched, and whoever can capitalize on said mistakes is going to be victorious and walk out of here with a perfect record. So that's my thoughts, and we'll see what happens. They put 3 more minutes up on the board. Okay, now 12 minutes as both teams head onto the field. You've been listening to the Knights Halftime Show, sponsored by your Knights of Columbus Insurance field agents, Jason Bell-Richard and Heath Dickelman. And while we have a chance, a special shout-out to Dallas Cole, who's in the room as well, the man who gave me my start in radio 5 years ago. For some reason, he said, hey, here's a microphone, go talk on the radio about football. And here I am. So, Mr. Cole, so good to see you. You can't hear him, but he's saluting and all that.
He's an icon at Brookings.
He is. He's Hall of Fame in the state of South Dakota.
How many years you been at Brookings doing radio? 37. Were you there when Bert Getz was around? Oh, my gosh. Oh, my God. That's been a long time, because I grew up listening to him every morning.
So the Knights will receive to start this second half of play. The crowd getting loud here at Howard Wood Field. The Knights lead Roosevelt out homecoming 16-0. I'm Michael Promas alongside Dan Johnson, Brett Byler in the booth as well, and Mr. Alex High down on the sideline. Thank you so much for joining us for tonight's broadcast right here on Real Presence Radio Network.
Okay, we're going to be going into the sun. So we're going to have the sun to our back in the fourth quarter. I think that's going to be very critical. Even though the sun's going to start dropping here, it's going to be a key.
And more importantly, the wind at our backs in that fourth quarter as well.
Yep.
On to kick it away is number 3, Devlin McManus. It's a low squib kick, touches down about the 27-yard line. It rolls up to the 15-yard line, scooped up by Bo Blunt. He goes toward the O'Gorman sideline from right to left, but he's going to be clobbered all the way back on the 12-yard line. They're saying he lost the ball, but they're going to down him officially, about the 11, 12-yard line. And like we saw from Roosevelt at the beginning of the game, Dan, he could have gone down the field, but instead went sideways and lost another 5.
Yeah, he thought he could break that. The wedge was coming down. He thought he'd get on the outside of that wedge, but that wedge just kind of went with him. So
it'll be 1st and 10, officially spotted on the Knights' 11-yard line toward the right hash. We'll see what adjustments head coach Jason Poppingham made at halftime for his team to overcome this Roosevelt defense.
Roosevelt's going to be pumped up. They have to be. They have to come out strong here.
Norton in shotgun, one back, trips left. One receiver spread to his right as well. Heavy pressure from Roosevelt showing. Norton takes the snap. He's going to keep it, but he's going to be clobbered behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a healthy loss of about 2 yards. Norton lost his towel, got that back from one of the Roosevelt players. Sportsmanship. Gotta love it from Mr. Joey Otta. Brings up 2nd and 12 from the Knights now on their own 9-yard line. And you could see that pressure coming in, Dan, from those linebackers blitzing up that right side. They cut right through, and Norton had nowhere to go.
You can see the defense. They're looking at coaches going, call something. What scheme do you want us in? They're pumped.
Norton in shotgun. 4 receivers stacked to the left. A thin line, heavy pressure from the left this time from Roosevelt. Pass to Canyon Bauer, laterally down the 5-yard line. It'll be a loss of several yards again off the completed pass.
Well, that's not a way to start the second half.
And Roosevelt just putting on heavy pressure. The Knights trying to play it safe, keep it around that line of scrimmage. But what they're allowing is that that backfield, or I should say back in the secondary, the Roosevelt secondary, leaving a lot of holes open. So we'll see if the Knights try to take advantage of that, if Roosevelt's going to bring the pressure again. Because really, that's where the plays are. So the Knights going to show trips right, shotgun, 12 seconds on the play clock as they're still getting set. One back. It's Tate Wishard to the right of Norton. Here's that pressure. Norton looks to pass, turns around, throws it to Canyon Bauer. He will catch it at about the 17-yard line and hit the deck immediately. That'll bring up 4th down and about 4.
Yeah, he's short, so we got it out just about out of the red zone. Needed to get out to the 21 for the first down. Like you said, he's short.
But like I talked about, Dan, he was wide open. There wasn't a single receiver on him. The only reason he went down is because he dove for the pass and caught it.
Yep.
If they broke that out maybe a little sooner, and maybe it's something to keep in mind for the next offensive possession, could do some damage. Bo Blunt on to punt for the Knights. It's a little bit low. Touches down at the Knights'
42-yard line, takes an OG bounce all the way up to the Roosevelt 46. That's where the Rough Riders will go to work, their first offensive possession of this half. 9:36 on the board here in the third quarter. Knights lead 16-0. By the way, a reminder, we do stream our video on YouTube. Just search Real Presence Radio Sioux Falls. You can watch the game and listen to it all at the same time. While you're there, feel free to comment. Heard from some of our listeners. Big Rig Barbecue, the O'Gorman Knights parents as well, which I want to remind us that they pray the rosary 6:30 in the morning every game day. So feel free to join them there at O'Gorman High School. 1st and 10 for Roosevelt. And a run up the middle, a fumble on the play, though. It's going to be covered by Dannenbring. I should specify, Bourne took the dive up the right side, lost the ball. It bounced back about 5 yards, and Dannenbring was able to cover it. They're going to say that the fumble was live.
Wow.
And that'll be a 5-yard loss, about 6-yard loss, excuse me.
Like they kicked it out. They pray the rosary every Wednesday at 6 o'clock.
Wednesday at 6.
Every Wednesday, the parents at the MAC.
Excuse me.
Sorry.
So there we go. More misinformation about the rosary like we had in the first half. 2nd and 16 then for Roosevelt. Ball on their own 40-yard line, right hash. Dannenbring shotgun, 2 receivers to his left, 1 back. Takes the snap, looks to pass, fires it to the right side. It's caught but barely by Devlin McManus at the 45. No, excuse me, they're going to wave that off, say he did not catch it. Fell to the ground. It looked like he might have kind of cradled it underneath with his right hand, but they're going to say it hit the turf. So 3rd down and 16.
We didn't have any stats, but he can't be, 25%, 20% throwing?
Yeah, so let's talk about that a little bit. Roosevelt not super successful in the pass game, and I would honestly attribute it to just some poor passes from Dannenbring.
And he's a good quarterback.
He is a good quarterback. He's just been underthrowing a little bit. Not sure if it's the cold or what. The trip's left now for Dannenbring. Puts a man in motion from left to right. Low snap. He recovers. Fires the ball down the middle of the field. This time it's caught nice and well by Caden Jordan. He's going to bring it past the 50-yard line all the way up to the 32 for a Roosevelt first down, and the Rough Riders are within striking distance.
He was 2nd and a half from getting sacked. Did you see that? How the pressure? I think it was Noah was coming around on the backside there to get him, and another step. Noah would have had him for the loss. That was close.
Kind of like you're calling Canyon Bauer earlier. You talk about a player, something's going to happen. And there we go, Dannenbring, a very successful catch. 1st and 10 for the Rough Riders. Ball spotted on the Knights' 33 right hash. Trips left for Dannenbring, 1 back. Dannenbring takes the snap, looks to pass, fires it left. It's going to be caught this time by Devlin McManus. He'll cut right this time, go toward the right sideline. Spin around, that was Feldkamp on the reception. That'll be good for another Roosevelt first down.
Wow. Okay, Noah Reeves lost his shoe. He's going to have to come out.
A 15-yard reception there, and Reeves runs towards the sideline, waving his shoe up in the air.
Makuska comes in.
This is probably the most explosive, Dan, I think we've seen Roosevelt so far in this game as they're up on the Knights 17, but we have seen them turn it over in this position as well.
It's the second deepest they've got tonight.
Dannenbring, shotgun, 2 receivers to his left, 1 to his right. Bourne behind him. 5 seconds on the play clock. Here's the snap. It's low. He gets it. Bourne gets the handoff, dives up the middle. He'll maybe pick up a yard on the carry. Stepping on for OG, it looks like. Is that the house? Is that Brady Beck?
Is the house back? I thought he was still out.
I thought he was out as well. It's number 54, John Sewing, stepping out. And that's Brady Beck, number 66. At nose guard now for OG. 2nd and 9 for Roosevelt. O'Gorman 16. Dannenbring tries the hard count. Nothing doing there. 2 receivers to his left, 1 to his right. 12 seconds on the play clock. Takes the snap. Pump fakes left. Rolls out left now. Looks to the end zone. Fires it away. Way too much onion on it. Made it about halfway past the track, or into the track, I should say. And, needless to say, it's incomplete. Bring up 3rd down.
Witchery was all over him. He had to get it away or he's going to get sacked.
6:55 to play here in the third quarter. Knights lead Roosevelt 16-0, but they're knocking on the door, trying to put in their first score of the game on the Knights 16.
Great pressure. Great pressure by the linebackers coming around the end, swinging in. I like that.
Here comes Dannenbring in shotgun. Talking a little bit to Feldkamp, who then moves out left. 2 receivers out there and 1 to the right on the short side. 1 back, it's Bourne. Here's the snap. Dannenbring rolls out right side, looking for the end zone, fires it away, way over the head of his receiver again. He was looking for Devlin McManus, but nothing there. That'll bring up a 4th and 9 situation now for Roosevelt. Now, this is just what we saw earlier in the game where they were at the O'Gorman 8-yard line. They went 4 and outs and actually turned it over on downs. They're probably going to go for it here, only because you have to. You're this far away, or you're this close, I should say.
Stucco and George of the Jungle were all over him. Schwabach.
And, yeah, they're going to go for it. 4th and 9. Dannenbring, shotgun, 2 receivers either side from the right hash. Dannenbring takes a snap, drops back, looking right. He's pressured, wrapped up, but avoids the sack. Pressured again as he rolls out right side, goes to the sideline, and he's going to be knocked out. And just like that, Roosevelt, for the second time, turns the ball over on downs in the Knights' red zone.
Just about headed for loss, but Evan Witry, great play by Witry. Oh, he hit Dannenbring hard.
Absolutely, and credit where credit's due. The O'Gorman Knights' defense was just fantastic, putting a lot of pressure on Dannenbring, forcing him to kind of improvise a little bit on those passes. But Dannenbring did miss a couple chances with some just flat-out bad passing.
About halfway through the third quarter, so the clock, you need that clock to run here.
Knights leading 16-0. They'll take charge at their own 19-yard line. Norton with trips right, one back, and Canyon Bauer to his left. Here's the snap, fakes the handoff, drops back, fires it, finds Bo Blunt at the 30, but he trips over the 30-yard line and hits the turf at about the 35-yard line. Kind of bear crawled for about 5 more yards, but that'll be enough for a Knights first down.
Oh, he'd have been gone.
You can see over there just waving your arms wildly.
Like, oh, no. That was a good play. Great play. Okay, clock's running. We want that.
So 1st and 10 for OG. Ball on their own 36, about the middle of the field. Norton looking at trips right now, hurrying up this offense just a hair. Here's the snap, fakes the handoff to Wisher, dives up the middle, and he'll maybe pick up a yard or so on the QB keeper. We saw a lot of running from Zach Norton in the first half. Led the Knights in rushing, actually still does. But we'll see if they continue to bring him in because his pass game has been on point tonight.
What do you think he had first half? I'd have no idea.
You know, the stats have been down. We didn't take stats because we were thinking we were going to have stats, so I honestly don't have numbers for you folks, and I do apologize for that.
He's
but
high.
It has to be at least 100-plus yards.
That's what, thank you. That's what I was going to guess.
2nd and 8 for the Knights on their own 38. Here's the snap. Norton spread receivers. Fires the ball down the left sideline, looking for Canyon Bauer. He turns around, jumps up, got it at the 30-yard line.
That's the Bauer we need to see.
Canyon Bauer looked like he could have actually still been in play as he was laying on top of the defender, number 22, Tucker Large. And a big play brings the Knights into Roosevelt territory. They are still going into the wind, meaning we're not quite in the range of Connor Pavelko yet.
Okay, now we're going to get in the sun. We were in the shade there, Howard Wood. Now we're back in the sun on the left side of the field.
5:20 to play in the third quarter. Knights leading Roosevelt 16-0. Trips right for Norton, takes the snap, looks to run, rolls that right, pressure there, turns around, goes left now, trying to outrun the defender, loses the ball at the 32-yard line. Roosevelt's on it, and a turnover for the Knights.
Nope, they called it. Yep.
That was Devlin McManus defensively. Check that. Joey Otta actually came up with the ball. And the first major mistake, I would say, really for the O'Gorman Knights, the first turnover they've had all game. We'll see if Roosevelt can capitalize on that. 1st and 10 for the Rough Riders. Ball on their own 27 right hash. Dannenbring, shotgun, 2 receivers to his left, stacked line. Fakes the handoff, rolls out left, looking to pass, tucks it. Now he's going to keep it. Dives for the first down marker as he heads out of bounds. We'll see if they give it to him. I think he has it. Nope. They're not going to give it to him. In fact, they're going to spot it back rather far. Yeah, about 2 yards short of that first down.
He had 4 Knights chasing him.
So Brady Dannenbring at 6'5", 205 pounds, and a junior, has that nice long stride to get him out of dodge a little bit, and that he did. 2nd and 2. Ball on the Roosevelt 35 left hash. Dana brings shotgun. 2 receivers to his left. Again, a stacked line and Bourne in the backfield. Dannebrink puts a man in motion. Here's the handoff to Feldkamp. He's going to try to sweep right, but I think he'll maybe only pick up a yard, if that.
Stokel came in, linebacker, and shot the gap and got him.
They're going to give him about a half yard, so we'll just say 3rd down and 1.5.
Now, House didn't play the first half.
No, Brady Beck. In fact, we were told before the game started that he wasn't going to be playing, but he is out there playing nose guard, a big presence for the O'Gorman Knights, standing at 6'8" and just shy of 300 pounds.
The House.
Dannenbrink, shotgun, 2 receivers to his left, hands it to Bourne up the middle, but a scrum at the 35-yard line stops Roosevelt short. In fact, Bourne will actually lose a yard on that carry.
Well, they ran it right at the House. You're not going anywhere.
Just kind of gave it a big bear hug, didn't he, and pushed him backwards.
Okay, 4th down.
So, yeah, 4th and 2. This 3rd time Roosevelt has found themselves in a 4th down situation, and I should say, 4th time they found themselves in a 4th down situation. Excuse me. This time they're going to punt. They went for it on 2 of those times.
Birds back for the Knights.
Here's the snap. It's a little low, but able to get it away. Touches down at the Knights' 43-yard line. A fantastic punt there for Devlin McManus. They're going to pin the ball back on the Knights' 25-yard line, so we'll see what the Knights can do here with 3:24 to play in this 3rd quarter. Knights leading 6-0.
40-yard. Not bad. Nice bounce.
And Devlin McManus, I should say Roosevelt in general, has not done so well with the punts. It's either a low snap or O'Gorman has just broken through defensively, and we saw that one block earlier in the game. But this time, solid punt from McManus.
But I've noticed that, excuse me, most of the snaps, like you said, haven't been 100%. Mm-hmm. They're kind of soft and low. So
even on this one, it was a little bit low. McManus did have to reach down for a little bit, but it was good enough that he could get it away in a timely manner.
But that punter loses his rhythm. Takes him out when the snap was high or low.
Roosevelt in a 3-4 set. Middle linebacker looks to blitz. So does the right side linebacker. Norton with spread receivers fires the ball down the right sideline, looking for Bauer. Jumps up, no good. Tyler Feldkamp was there to break things up a little bit, and Bauer couldn't quite get to it. Bring up 2nd and 10 for the Knights.
But that fumble by Norton earlier, that was a great job of the defense to capitalize and get the ball right back. So that turnover didn't hurt us. And,
we saw a bit of a softer defense last week from the O'Gorman Knights. Actually, that was 2 games ago, against Lincoln.
Yeah.
But they're coming out and firing on all cylinders and really just being relentless, staying healthy, and they look like they have a lot of energy. 2nd and 10 for OG, right hash on the Knights' 25. Norton trips left, 1 back, looks to pass, fires it left side, hits up Connor Pavelko on the screen, crosses the 30-35. There's a 1st down, and he's tackled out of bounds at the 39. Connor Pavelko, usually we mention his name when it comes to kicking, but he's been receiving quite a few passes this year as well, his first of the night.
And playing corner, he's all-purpose. Last week he did fabulous, but again, there's another weapon. When you don't have Bauer, you got Bird, you got Pavelko. You got Jones, Hackman can catch.
And now that I think about it, I think Connor Pavelko actually punted last week because Bo Blunt was out with some kind of stomach issue.
Correct.
So 1st and 10 for OG, ball on the 39, left hash. That's the Knights' 39. Trips right this time for Norton. 1 back. It's Wishart to his left. Here's the snap. Hands off to Wishart. He sweeps around the right side past the 40. Bear crawls after the hit up to about the 43-yard line for a gain of 4.
2nd and 4 yards on the 1st down play. That's, like you said, clock's running. 2:27 to go here in the 3rd. O'Gorman Knights, ranked number 2 is 16. Raiders ranked number 1, 0 here in the 3rd quarter. This is a great game, folks.
Classic 1 versus 2 clash, but at this point, I think the general populace would agree that this is not the result we were expecting at this point in the game.
You notice the crowd's a little softer over here. And at the start of the 2nd half, they were loud, and all of a sudden it's really quieted down on this side.
The Knights break the huddle with 4 seconds on the play clock. 2nd and 6. Here's the handoff to Wisher. He dives up the middle, runs into the back of his right guard there, but is able to break away for a gain of about 3 on the carry. And I'll be curious, Dan, to see if we're going to see more of Tate Wishard, carrying the ball. We didn't see a whole lot of him really at all in that first half. A couple solid carries here. But going back to what I said earlier, trying to preserve Zach Norton a little bit to keep that passing game alive. Maybe you do hand it off to Wishard once in a while, and maybe even work in Evan Witry.
You got to keep that defense off kilter, because if Norton's going to run the option, take it and everything, it's like Wishard running. I mean, I love the play calling. I think they called a great game. Alex Anderson calling the plays up here with Popinka.
3rd and 3 for OG. Ball in their own 46 in the middle of the field. Trips right for Norton. Roosevelt shows blitz and a whistle. It's a flag as the play clock expires. The Knights were kind of playing it tight the last play, and this time couldn't quite get it together.
Mental mistake.
Well, 3rd down and 8 now for the Knights. They'll re-huddle, try to come up with a new plan here. 1:05 to play in this 3rd quarter here at Howard Wood Field. Sun going down a little bit. It's getting pretty cold.
Hey, we're under a minute.
Knights break the huddle. 10 seconds on the play clock. Trips right. 1 back, 1 receiver to the left as well. Norton takes the snap, drops back to pass, fires it down the right sideline. It's a little inside. Jacob Bird tips it, but it's intercepted by Roosevelt. Moving down the left sideline past the 50, the 45, and finally brought down at the line of scrimmage, maybe just a little past at the 40-yard line, is number 21, Nathan Moon.
Oh, that gets dangerous when that ball is up in the air and gets tipped. Very dangerous. That's 2 turnovers for the Knights here in the 3rd quarter in the last 2 minutes.
We'll see if the Rough Riders are able to do something with it this time. The last time the Knights turned it over off the fumble resulted in Roosevelt turning it over on downs at the Knights' 14-yard line. By the way, that's Nathan Moon, a 5'10", 170-pound junior. Kind of right place, right time, as Bird couldn't quite get to it on the overthrown pass. 1st and 10 for Dannenbring on the left hash on the Knights' 40-yard line. 2 receivers either side. 29 seconds to play in this 3rd quarter. Dannenbring drops back to pass. Looking left, he receives pressure. Wide open in front of him. He'll take things into his own hands. Crosses that 1st down marker for a gain of about 12 on the QB keeper.
Well, he just stood back there and looked, and all of a sudden the lane's open wide open for him. Like the clouds open right up, and he just walked right through there.
So 1st and 10 for the Rough Riders. Clock continues to run now at 15 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Knights lead 16-0. Dannenbring is going to try to get this one off, I think, before the end of the quarter. 2 receivers to his right, 1 to his left, 1 back. Dannenbring takes the snap, drops back, looking right, rolls out left now, nobody's there. Looks to pass now, fires it down the left sideline, just kind of throws it away as the time expires in the 3rd quarter. 3 quarters have come and gone, and the O'Gorman Knights still leading the Roosevelt Rough Riders 16-0 as we head into the 4th quarter. You're listening to O'Gorman Knights football on Real Presence Radio.
Morgan Stanley values long-term relationships with its clients. I'm Thad Barnes, financial advisor with the Barnes DeMore Group of Morgan Stanley's Sioux Falls office. Andy DeMore and myself know that building relationships begin with getting to know each client. We can create personal investment strategies to help meet retirement, education, and other financial needs.
Thad and Andy can be reached at 338-6500. Investments and services are offered through Morgan Stanley Smith Barney, LLC, member SIPC.
Aaron's in Sioux Falls is a lease-to-own retailer of furniture, electronics, and appliances. Aaron's offers payments that include 12, 18, and 24-month plans, and Aaron's same-as cash option. They provide delivery and setup with a lease-to-own agreement, and product service and repair are also included. You can visit the Sioux Falls Aaron's store or call 988-9999. And you can also shop online at aarons.com to experience the Aaron's difference. Own it.
Start of the 4th quarter here at Howard Wood Field. The O'Gorman Knights 16, Roosevelt a goose egg. But Roosevelt
trying to put up their first points at the game on the night. 28-yard line. 2nd and 10. Dana brings spread receivers. Looks to pass, but he's going to be brought down, sacked at the 33-yard line.
Reeves and Witry.
Evan Witry, Noah Reeves on the sack. That's the second sack for Noah Reeves in this game. He has been just all over that backfield for Roosevelt. They just can't quite get away from him.
3rd and long. Hey, you got to give him a shout out. Father Anthony Urban down in Tabor is listening. Father, God bless you. Thank you for listening. We'll see you Monday. And then we got to give a shout out to Tammy Bauer, Canyon's cousins, listening to Aberdeen. So thank you for listening to RPR.
3rd and 15. The pass over to the left side, almost nearly intercepted. It was Dannenbring looking for Jaden Bourne on the swing pass, but coming in to break things up was number 44, Aiden Thomas. Again, almost intercepted it on 3rd and 15. Now 4th and 15 for Roosevelt. Dan, Roosevelt's down 16 points. Yep. 1 minute into this fourth quarter. They going to go for it?
Oh, yeah.
No. Well, as I say that, they bring out.
Yeah.
Is that a punt unit or is that a field goal unit? I can't tell. They're going to punt it.
They're going to punt. Oh, but the wind's down. Look at the flags. It's about nothing.
Right.
Okay.
That's Joey Ostermeyer back to punt for Roosevelt. Back to return for OG. It looks like we have Zach Norton and Jacob Bird as well. Here's a short punt. He's going to touch down 15, take a Roosevelt bounce, and be called dead at the 14-yard line. So just like that, Roosevelt moved down the field, looked like they were trying to get something going, but cut short by the O'Gorman defense. It's been the story of the game for the Rough Riders, and you got to feel for them because it's their homecoming, and they just can't quite finish an offensive drive, Dan.
I got to give it Aiden Thomas, 44. He just about had a pick right there.
Yeah.
Okay. He's a 17-year-old senior. His favorite food, his mom's waffles. And aspirations in life is to get money.
Yeah, there you go.
But also, he said he gives a shout-out to his sister, Taylor, who goes to school over in Minnesota. So hopefully you're listening, and your brother just did a fabulous job.
1st and 10 for the Knights on their own 14-yard line. Norton in shotgun. Spread receivers. Quick little pass over to Canyon Bauer, right side. He's able to break away and tackle another one down the right sideline past the 40, and he's pushed out of bounds at the Knights' 48-yard line.
It's kind of remind me of deja vu last year. We were out here at Howard Woods with Bauer on the sideline like that. He broke it free.
While they have a chance, then let's take it down to our sideline reporter, Alex High, now that we finally have the equipment working. Alex.
The third quarter was the sun.
Here we go.
Because it was very hard to not have the sun in your eyes. But now the sun is starting to dip below the stands behind some trees, and the vision should be a lot better for the fourth quarter. Back up to Dan and Michael.
All right, just as mentioned, technology problems. We lost a little bit of audio there. We apologize, but thank you, Mr. High, for that report. 1st and 10 for the Knights. Norton on the carry is going to lose 1 yard as he tried to head up the middle, but couldn't quite do so.
No, I'm going to run the ball. Work that clock down. Get that clock, because that's our biggest enemy right now is the clock.
2nd and 11 then for OG on the Knights' 47-yard line, right hash. Norton's going to come out in shotgun with Wishard to his right, 2 receivers to his left, and 2 stacked up tight on the right side. Roosevelt playing back a little bit. Oh, now it's showing blitz as the linebackers move up. Norton takes the snap, keeps himself, rolls out right. He'll pick up about 3 yards in the QB keeper and is down at the 50-yard line. Bring up 3rd down and 8 for the O'Gorman Knights. Under 10 to play in this fourth quarter. Knights leading the Riders 16-0. By the way, if you're enjoying tonight's game, remember that Real Presence Radio is 100% donor supported. And it's through your generosity of this ministry that we can bring you these O'Gorman athletic events and also our regular everyday local and national programming. So won't you please consider making a secure, tax-deductible gift by going to yourcatholicradiostation.com. Support ensures that we remain on the air, continue to bring people to Christ and Christ to his people. Norton looks to pass. 3rd down and 8. Long pass down the middle of the field. Nearly picked off. Looked for Canyon Bauer, but getting his hands on it. It was number 44 from Roosevelt. That's Tristan Johnson. Bring up 4th down and 8 for the Knights. And the Knights are just lucky that Johnson didn't intercept that one. They'll have the chance to punt now and maybe pin Roosevelt back in their own territory.
I can't believe he didn't catch it. It looked like he caught it and threw it down. It's like he didn't want to catch it. I didn't get that. If the ball was there.
So Bo Blunt into punt. Back to return for Roosevelt, number 6, Tyler Feldkamp's a little low, but Bo recovers. It's short punt. It's low. Touches down about the 1. It's hit by Feldkamp. The Knights recover on the 2-yard line.
Yes.
Feldkamp wasn't quite sure where to stand looking at the sideline. Before he knew it, the punt was away. He was trying to chase down the ball. It hit him in the ankle, and O'Gorman is able to recover the ball on the 2-yard line.
Oh.
That's one way to move the ball down the field, I suppose.
Mental mistake. Mental mistake. First and goal on the 2 with 9:17 to go here in the fourth quarter at Howard Wood.
Knights up 16-0, and will likely tack on more points here as long as they don't turn the ball over.
They have to, be calm and take your time. Give it to the bowling ball and just take that strike right on in.
Use the clock that you have, right?
Yep.
So Norton comes out, still in shotgun. Looks like trips right tight, and a flag is thrown.
We're a man short.
Going to call legal substitution on OG. That'll be 5 yards back. Mental mistakes, Dan. Makes it a little more difficult for OG now.
Oh, what?
Your head coach, Jason Papiga, you cannot be pleased. And we see him standing there with his hands on his hips. So, here we go. 1st and 8. 7. Board is wrong. 2 receivers either side. Ball in the middle of the field. Here's the snap. Handoff up the middle to Wishart. He'll dive forward, maybe pick up a couple yards on the carry.
Take him up to the 5.5-yard line.
2nd and goal. They're going to give it, they're going to spot it, about 5.5, 6-yard line, somewhere in there.
Clock's running under 9.
The Knights are just going to let that clock bleed. 15 seconds on the play clock. They step up to the line. Norton in shotgun, 2 receivers to his left, 2 tight to his right, and Wishart in the backfield. Norton takes a snap. It's low, but he gets it. Looks to the end zone, fires left corner. It's caught by Canyon Bauer. Did he get his feet in? Yes! Yes! Down O'Gorman.
Yeah. Oh, I can stand up now.
Canyon Bauer, one of his few receptions of the game and his first touchdown reception of the game, extends the Knights' leads 22-0 pending the PAT.
Did you see that slant? He went right to the corner. It was just a perfect pass. Perfect pass by Norton.
It looks like the Knights are going to go for 2. If you recall, or if you're listening, I should say, earlier in the second quarter, Connor Pavelko was wide left on a PAT. They're going to try to make up some ground to make that difference a little less awkward and a little safer, I suppose. So here's Norton on the PAT for 2. 2 receivers to his left, 2 tight to his right, 1 back. Norton takes a snap, keeps it himself, rolls right, but he's going to be just a little shy of that end zone. PAT is unsuccessful. The Knights leading Roosevelt 22-0, 8:31 to play in the fourth quarter. We'll step aside. This is O'Gorman Knights football on Real Presence Radio.
Hi, this is Mark Konzemius. In 1987, Bishop Paul Dudley and a group of business leaders started the Catholic Community Foundation for Eastern South Dakota to help raise, manage, and distribute God's gifts as determined by donors' intent. 28 years later, we continue to grow their vision and legacy of faith. Many choose the Catholic Community Foundation for their charitable giving because of our commitment to Catholic, moral, and social values. Learn more about how you can leave a legacy of faith through the Catholic Community Foundation at 605-988-3788 or visit cfesd.org.
Crossroads Book and Music is a local source for Catholic gifts and supplies. From rosaries and medals to books and Bibles, Crossroads is here with materials to help individuals in their walk with Christ. Crossroads also features a large line of personalized gifts that are great for weddings, anniversaries, birthdays, or any special occasion. Crossroads is located at 41st and Grange next to Camille's. Crossroads, books, gifts, music.
Back at Howard Wood Field, the Knights, number 2, leading Roosevelt, number 1, 22-0 with 8:30 to play in this fourth quarter. Squib kick up to about the 25. Now they're going to spot back to the 23-yard line from Connor Pavelko. Will give the Rough Riders the start in their own territory.
They're going to have to put it up.
Dannenberg with spread receivers and shotgun. Fires it out left side. This time it's going to be picked up by Devlin McManus, who has kind of had a rough time of it in this second half. A lot of missed catches and maybe some just overthrows as well. He's slow to get up, but that'll be enough for a Rough Rider first down. While we have a chance to, a special shout out to Mitchell Jarding, Mason Cook, Chase Norton. Shout out. They love watching Zach. I think Chase is related to Zach in some way or form. But down in Lincoln, Nebraska, go Huskers. Thanks for listening, guys. In shotgun spread receivers again, Dannenbrink, 1st and 10, fires the ball from the 34-yard line, way overthrows his intended receiver. He was looking for Caden Johnson, I believe. But that's kind of the common theme, Dan, for Dannenbrink in this game. Just a little too much power on those passes.
Yeah, I don't know. He seems off tonight.
He does.
I mean, we watched him play a couple weeks ago. You know, it's just kind of like, I don't know. It'd be interesting to see, but
kind of see how that goes, I suppose. Remember, it is his first year starting. He is only a junior, so he does have some room to grow. We'll see if he can keep the Rough Riders in this game tonight. 2nd and 10 from the 34. Dannenbrink spread in shotgun. Heavy pressure. Comes up. He's going to be sacked back at the 26-yard line. Coming in on that again for the third time tonight, Aiden Thomas made the first contact, his third sack.
Schwab.
Jacob Schwab in there as well, yes.
Is in on that. Whoa. Jacob Schwab, when he comes in, he's effective.
Seen him play a little running back, and looks like he's playing a little linebacker as well. 3rd and 16 now for Roosevelt, ball on their own 28. Still spread receivers. Dannenbrink drops back. Heavy pressure again. He throws it. It's tipped. And Schwab can't quite get to it for the interception. Getting a hand on it was George Swaybach. And again, the second time he's done that in this game. Swept around, got a hand on Dannenbrink's hand, and stopped the pass.
On that blitz, he came right in there. George of the Jungle, he is controlling. Oh, baby.
So 4th down and 16 now for Roosevelt. They're down 22-0, 7.5 minutes to play. And the last thing they want is to give O'Gorman another chance to score, so they're going to punt it away.
Defense, great set of 3 downs right there, Michael.
McManus in to punt. Bird in to return for the Knights. Here's the snap. It's low. It hits the turf. McManus recovers, takes a knee as he grabs the ball back on the 15-yard line. That is down by contact. The Knights get it on the Roosevelt 15-yard line.
Mental mistake by the punter. Every single snap tonight has been low, hasn't it?
It has.
It has. O'Gorman gets the ball at the 15-yard line. Oh, what a mental mistake by the punter.
Last thing. The reason they came out and punted instead of going for it in the first place was to get the ball out of there. But here it is at the 15. 1st and 10 for OG, trying to shut out the Roosevelt Rough Riders and move to the number 1 spot in 11 AAA football in South Dakota.
Can they capitalize here? 7:23, Mike.
Zach Norton has trips receivers to his left, 1 back. Canyon Bauer to his right. Roosevelt shows blitz on the right side of OG's line. Here's the snap. Quick pass to the right corner. Canyon Bauer got it in the right corner. Touchdown, O'Gorman!
Yes! That'll seal it. That should.
28-0 pending the PAT. And the Knights trying to make a statement here tonight, showing that they should be number 1 in South Dakota. And you can hear, I have my crowd mic turned up to the same spot it's been for most of the game, folks, and you can hear a whole lot of silence and some cheering in the background. That's the Knights fans on the opposite side here. As I turn it up, you can hear it. Connor Pavelko on to kick the PAT. Here's the spot, the place, the kick, it's up, it's through, it's good. Make that 29-0 Knights over Roosevelt, 7:18 to play in the fourth quarter. We'll step aside. This is O'Gorman Knights football on Real Presence Radio.
Providence Financial is committed to protecting what matters most to you, your family, and your future. Mark Promis, a trusted choice independent insurance agent with Providence Financial in Sioux Falls, does not work for any one insurance company. He works for you. Mark provides coverage for home, auto, business, health, life, and more. And he can customize policies for you. To make an appointment with Mark, you can call 605-376-3227, or you can visit him at 3208 East 26th Street.
Hi, this is Brett Byler, Area Account Executive with Real Presence Radio. Have you ever thought about sponsoring programming on RPR? We want to partner with your business in keeping the call to a new evangelization alive throughout the upper Midwest. Underwriting on this station shows you are a leader in supporting this ministry and promotes your business in front of a very faithful customer base. To find out more about your options, please call me, Brett Byler, at 605-670-8333.
Pavelko on to kick this one away after another Knights touchdown and another squib kick. Going to be picked up at the 20-yard line. Roosevelt will field it and bring it up to about the 23-yard line. So we'll see if the Rough Riders can do something here. They're starting to lose grip of this game a little bit. 29-0, the Knights with the lead. 7:12 to play in the fourth quarter.
See that tackle? Of the 11 guys in the field, 8 of them were on that pile. 8 white jerseys were on that. I mean, they are fired up. Now, can the defense come out and did what they just did, hold them to 3 and out? They need to step it up here. They need to keep playing the hard D that they have.
Brady Dannenbrink still in at quarterback. One back, trips left tight. Here's the snap and a flag call. That'll be offsides on Roosevelt, and it looked like that was Kevin Ramazzani, I believe. Yeah, over on the left side. He was pointing toward the sideline, moved his feet a little bit, and there we go, 5 yards back.
Okay, the house is out. Sewing's back in his nose. So
Jacob Schwab still in there at linebacker as well for the Knights.
They're shaking that up.
Schwaybox in there. Looks like we also have Evan Witchery in as well. So 1st and 15. Ball on the 20 for Roosevelt, middle of the field. Dannenbrink takes a snap, rolls out left. He receives pressure, fires it down the field. It's tipped by Bird and almost intercepted by Bo Blunt as he swept in from the 40-yard line to try to pick that one off. That'll be 2nd down and 15 for Roosevelt. Let's pause for station identification. This is O'Gorman Knights football.
You're listening to the RPR Network. FM 94.5, KGWD Sioux Falls, and FM 91.3, KSTJ Hartford. Real Presence Radio, your family of faith and hope.
2nd and 15, ball on the Roosevelt 20. Dannenbrink spread receivers, drops back, heavy pressure again, runs away, rolls out. He's going to be hit at the 20-yard line. And that offense, Dan, is just, the offensive line, I should say, is just not getting the job done for their quarterback.
Oh, Aiden Thomas was all over him. They chased him back out of the pocket, everything, and brought him back. And it's 3rd and 14 here. But the defense, they have been playing one heck of a ball game tonight.
They are going to give Dannenbrink 1 yard on the QB keeper. Bring up 3rd down and 14 from the Roosevelt 21, middle of the field. It's getting down to crunch time for the Rough Riders. Spread receivers, Dannenbrink with Bourne to his right in shotgun. Here's the snap, drops back, looking down the middle of the field. Now looks left, rolls left, fires it away, and it is caught. Number 2 for Roosevelt, Jacob Betancourt.
But he's short.
He's short about 2 yards, though.
They're going to go for it. They have to.
You have to go for it. Yeah, 12-yard reception there. 4th and 2 on the Roosevelt 33 in the middle of the field. That might have been probably the most crisp pass I've seen Dannenbrink throw all game, too. He's just been a little not enough zip on these passes, and either that or he's way overthrown his receivers. That one was right on the money.
Yep.
Spread receivers. Back behind Dannenbrink. Takes a snap, rolls out for the option. Fumble on the pitch. Bourne lost it, and the Knights have it at the 30-yard line.
Oh. How many mental mistakes tonight by Roosevelt? Another turnover by the Rough Riders. Wow.
That was Noah Reeves who came up with the ball. Aiden Thomas in on it as well. 1st and 10 for OG on the Roosevelt 30-yard line. So, Dan, what do you do here? The Knights have all but sealed this game with 5:30 to play in the fourth quarter. Do you go for the score, or you just run the ball and run out the clock, and if you score, great, you score?
I would the latter.
Yes.
I mean, run the ball, everything. If you score, but you don't want to, you want to keep everybody healthy. You don't want to go, let's just play football, run that clock, like you said. If we score, hey, that's great.
Norton shotgun with trips left, hands it off to Witchery. He dives up the middle. Excuse me, that's Wishart. Tate Wishart, I apologize.
It's a W.
It's a W. And they're going to say he was down. Roosevelt did indicate that maybe he lost the ball, but they're going to say down by contact. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard carry by Tate Wishart. Reminder, coming up after today's game, we'll have the Knights Locker Room Show, sponsored by Dr. Mark Hagan with Hagan Chiropractic Clinic. We'll briefly break down what we saw in this game. We'll also hear from O'Gorman head coach Jason Poppinga. We've got to make way for Mr. Dallas Cole here and Brookings Radio for the game after this. Brookings takes on Washington. 2nd and 5 for the Knights, right hash. Roosevelt 25. Norton trips left, 1 back. Here comes the blitz. Fakes the handoff to Wishart. Norton keeps himself, dives up the middle. He'll pick up 1 yard on the QB keeper.
Clock's running. That's coming up on 4.5 to go here in the ball game.
Cool, brisk night here in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. It's about what you'd expect for the end of September. We appreciate you tuning in to tonight's broadcast on our stations, 94.5 FM, 91.3 FM in Sioux Falls and Hartford, on our website, yourcatholicradiostation.com, on our mobile app, and on YouTube at Real Presence Radio Sioux Falls. Norton trips left, 3rd and 4, takes the snap, hands it off to Wishart. That's Witchery who's now in, getting his first carry of the game. Keeps his feet moving as he moves down that right hash line, and he is going to be very close to that first down. 4th down and maybe inches. We'll see where they spot it. Yeah, they're going to say just inches left.
See how they're holding on to his jersey, holding him back?
Yeah.
That's...
Evan Witchery, who's played a lot of linebacker tonight, a 6'1", 210-pound senior. Built a lot like Tate Wishart, just a little bit taller. Norton under center. Here's the snap. Norton's going to keep it himself, dive up the middle, and he might be, just a little shy of that first down. They're going to actually spot it back another half yard, so the Knights will turn it over on downs to Roosevelt at the Roosevelt 21-yard line.
Okay, so that was just shy of 1 second shy of 2 minutes off the clock on them 4-5 plays we had.
3:25 to play in the fourth quarter, 1st and 10. Dannenbring in shotgun, 2 receivers either side from the left hash. Knights playing back just a little bit. Low snap. Dannenbring recovers. He's pressured. Scrambles out of the pocket past the 20 and will pick up about 5 yards as he hits the ground and loses the ball, but he'll be down by contact after a gain of about 4. Well, by the way, we did hear from sideline reporter Alex High saying that there might be a bit of an injury down there for O'Gorman. Alex.
After his last run, Tate Wishart came to the sidelines. Looked like he was kind of favoring his shoulder, had a conversation with the trainer, but he's not talking to the trainers anymore. He is standing on the sidelines, so he could be good to go, but keep an eye on that shoulder, at least for the rest of the night and maybe into next week. Back up to Dan and Michael.
All right, Alex, thank you very much. Bourne gets the handoff up the middle. The Knights saying that he fumbled it and that they have it, and they do indeed. Oh, Bourne. Nice handoff up the middle, brought it up to about the 30-yard line, lost the ball. I didn't see who recovered it. They recovered it in the pile, but the Knights have it at the Roosevelt 32-yard line.
Wow. Hey, we got to give a shout-out to Miss South Dakota 1980, Carol Nesbitt. She's not here tonight, taking a little walk, and she's listening to us while she's taking a nice walk on this beautiful September evening.
Now that sounds nice.
Yeah.
I wish I could go for a walk with my wife.
We weren't here right now. The next best thing would be if we had Big Rig.
Oh, okay. Forget the walk. Yeah,
we haven't had dinner yet, so and I know they're closed. So,
Bob and Nicole, if you're listening,
yeah,
I will meet you anywhere.
Yeah.
1st and 10 for the Knights. Ball on their own 32-yard line, right hash. O'Gorman trying to run out this clock. 2:41 to play in the fourth. Trips left, and Witchery in at running back. Gets the handoff Dives right, breaks past a couple players. He's got room to the end zone. Touchdown, O'Gorman.
Wishart.
Excuse me, that was Tate Wishart who was back in. So
the bowling ball.
He
got a strike.
That injured shoulder is all better, apparently. That was Tate Wishart, with the beautiful run down the right side. And his first touchdown of the night, 35-0, pending the PAT. Pulled a strike. That's your tagline now, you know that,
That's right. I've been waiting for him to do that.
Connor Pavelko on to kick the PAT. Schlimgen the hold. Roosevelt jumps off sides just before the snap. Flags fly, and they're going to move this up a little bit and re-kick.
Yep, encroachment. Left end.
I will preface that for the rest of the game, the lights are on. It's getting a little dark, and we are scorned by O'Gorman's jerseys. Silver numbers and letters on white jerseys with a thin blue trim. So we apologize if we mix up some numbers like we do usually with Witchery and Wishart, because they're built very similar, and 31, 30, 32, sometimes you mix them up, and we apologize for that, so throw that out right now. All right. Pavelko kicks it up, I should say. It's through the uprights, and good. 2:34 to play in the fourth quarter. Knights lead the Riders 36-0. We'll step aside. This is O'Gorman Knights football on Real Presence Radio.
Aaron's in Sioux Falls is a lease-to-own retailer of furniture, electronics, and appliances. Aaron's offers payments that include 12, 18, and 24-month plans, and Aaron's same as cash option. They provide delivery and setup with a lease-to-own agreement, and product service and repair are also included. You can visit the Sioux Falls Aaron's store or call 988-9999. And you can also shop online at aarons.com to experience the Aaron's difference. Own it.
Hi there, Ryan here from Mini Critters. Mini Critters has been a locally owned stop for all pets' needs to keep them happy and healthy. With all the pet food choices available, finding the right dog or cat food can be a challenge. But no worries. We can be reached at 605-361-0006 and let our staff help find the perfect food for any dog or cat. Mini Critters has food, treats, toys, and more. Mini Critters, your friends, your family.
Connor Pavelko kicks things off for O'Gorman after the Tate Wishart touchdown run. 36-0, 2:26 to play in the fourth quarter in a game that's for the Rough Riders is all but over. And we'll see what the polls show on Monday, Dan. But I have a feeling that, using the transitive property, O'Gorman has to be ranked number one.
What the polls are going to show. Of course, it's going to be number one. It's going to be interesting. It's when you have a game like this, when you have a 36-0, it's pretty dominant. It was a dominant game for the Knights.
Dannenbrink on the 33-yard line. Nice little blooper pass over top to Tyler Feldkamp, who completes it for about 9 yards. Bring up 2nd and 1 for Roosevelt, and they're not going to go down without a fight. They don't want to be shut out. At this point, it's to save face and to not be shut out with 2 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. Dannenbrink, shotgun, spread receivers, drops back, looks to pass. Plenty of time, fires it down the left sideline. It's up, and it hits the back of one of the defenders, falls incomplete, looking for Jacob Betancourt.
Okay, we got to give a shout-out here to Emily Thomas. Their Aiden Thomas parents, hey, your son doing a fabulous job tonight. They are out of town, can't be here tonight, and they're watching, listening. Great game. Hated to miss this game. But I tell you what, your son, fabulous, and I know they wish they were here, but they're on a little vacation.
Absolutely. So thanks for listening. Enjoy Paris.
Emily, enjoy that. Yeah.
Have some cheese, some uncultured or unpasteurized cheese. I heard it's delicious. 3rd and 1. Nice little pass over the middle again for Roosevelt, and that this time is completed by Caden Jordan. Be enough for a Roosevelt first down into Knights territory. Ball spotted in the middle of the field at the 44.
Okay, so Aiden said his mom's waffle is his favorite food, so I got to write Emily on here so I can say
Emily, get us the recipe, because I love a good waffle.
Well, either that or bring us sometime. We'll try them at, next week. Hey, next week at the MAC.
We'll try them on air.
before the game.
Dannenbring hands it off to Feldkamp as he goes from left to right, sweeps across the line, down the right sideline. That would be good for a healthy gain of about 8 yards, depending on that spot, as he was brought down rather swiftly and aggressively across the turf. Yeah, 2nd down and 2 for the Rough Riders, now at the Knights' 36.
Okay, 2 shout-outs quick.
It's like the shout-out show. There is no more football. It's just shout-outs. I'm kidding.
We're under a minute to go, 36-0. Number 67, Parker Pollock. Here we go. You go ahead.
Dannenbring, spread receivers, dumps it over top again. Completed into the hands of Caden Jordan for another Roosevelt first down. That'll be spotted at the Knights' 23.
His parents are celebrating their 27th wedding anniversary today. Roger and Julia, happy anniversary, and happy birthday to Miles.
Oh, Beacom.
Yes. It's his birthday day, so shout out to Miles Beacom. And
well, we should sing to him. Ready? I'm kidding. It's licensed.
Yeah.
We don't want fines here. It's not cool. 1st and 10 for the Rough Riders. 23-yard line left hash. Bit of confusion there from the wide receiver core. Actually, it looks like one player is injured. That's Caden Jordan. He subs out, and that'll be a flag for illegal substitution. Oh, no, they're going to say false start on Roosevelt. No, they're going to allow that substitution, but still, regardless, it's a 5-yard penalty back. 27 seconds to play in the 4th quarter. Reminder coming up after the game, the Knights Locker Room Show, sponsored by Dr. Mark Hagen with Hagen Chiropractic Clinic, and we'll hear from O'Gorman head coach Jason Poppinga immediately following the game. 1st and 15 for Roosevelt on the Knights' 28. Left hash, Dannenbring, spread receivers, shotgun, drops back, looks to pass, and he's going to be sacked by Jacob Schwab all the way on the 36-yard line.
What a blitz by Schwab to come in there, Mike.
Jacob Schwab, his first sack of the game, and with that, time will run out. And just like that, number 2 O'Gorman has shut out number 1 ranked Roosevelt Rough Riders 36-0. That should put the Knights at the top of the board in 11 AAA football in the state of South Dakota. What a game, and I think you could talk to anybody about today's game, and nobody, not a single person, including myself, would tell you this would be the outcome. I knew O'Gorman could win, but I didn't think they'd come in and shut out the Roosevelt Rough Riders.
We thought it'd be like a 22-24, 22-20, 24-23 game, but never thought this. I mean, this is great. I mean, I'm just ecstatic. This is wonderful. Major win, 36-0 for the Knights. Number 2 takes out number 1 here in the state of South Dakota for AAA. But again, there's no love lost between the Roosevelt and O'Gorman, and it's a city rival. It's kind of like you're coming out here, the Roosevelt's homecoming, hostile environment. But, the Knights prevailed. They kept their heads cool. They played some great football, Mike.
And I think we learned a lot from this game. I think both teams learned a lot about the other in this game, what works and what doesn't, and what they can expect when, if these teams meet possibly in the postseason. I mean, if they're both at the top of the charts, then, we could be seeing them at the Dome if all things go as they would based on their ranking. But, again, that's why they play the game, so we'll see what happens there. But
the better thing is they learn from themselves, from each other, to play better football together as a team, and I think they got that, and that nucleus is there. They know what everybody can do. We were told Brady wasn't going to play, and here Brady played the whole 3rd quarter. And
yeah.
Look at that. And part of half of the 4th, and they didn't get anything up the gut at all. The house was right there.
And just clogged things up for O'Gorman in that 3rd quarter. One of those many unexpected things that Roosevelt didn't see coming. They were thinking that he was going to be gone. But, sure enough, he was there. And I think we saw a lot of plays that O'Gorman ran that Roosevelt just couldn't anticipate. That's part of why the Knights came away with this win. But ultimately, 7 turnovers for Roosevelt and only a couple for O'Gorman. That is going to be the biggest common denominator in this game. And that's why the Knights came out with the win. Roosevelt turned it over, and the Knights capitalized on that. And I see Alex High is meeting up with Jason Poppinga. And Alex, go ahead whenever you are ready.
Down here on the sidelines with a victorious Jason Poppinga, 36-0 shutout over Roosevelt. Like we all expected, a shutout. So what did you learn about Roosevelt? You might see him again in the playoffs. What did you learn about him tonight?
Well, obviously, focus on our guys. I mean, our guys played a heck of a game. Defensively, the number of turnovers, special teams plays, on our punt return team. they gave the offense the points that we scored, the whole night. So, our offense didn't do a real great job. We never really drove the field. We had some big plays that we couldn't connect on, but our defense, holy cow. I mean, to get that many turnovers, that many sacks, in the game, my brother, defensive coaches put together a great scheme and, really frustrated, I think, Roosevelt's offense.
Big win tonight, but there's always something to improve on. What did you see tonight that you'd like to improve on?
Well, obviously, they knew that we don't throw the ball really well, and, Zach Norton, struggled to get it out to Keenan Bauer. In the first half, we had him wide open, and, probably 3 times that could have been touchdowns that could have put us in, a 30-point lead going into the half. We just didn't get it done. So, in the second half, though, that's when we put the points on the board. He delivered nice balls, to Keenan for those 2 touchdowns, and, we eventually wore him out.
All right, thanks for your time, Coach. Enjoy the win.
Hey, appreciate it. Thank you.
That was Alex High with O'Gorman head coach Jason Poppinga, who now coaches the only undefeated team in 11 AAA football here in South Dakota. The Knights defeat the Roosevelt Rough Riders, again 36-0. We'll step aside when we come back. The Knights Locker Room Show, sponsored by Dr. Mark Hagen with Hagen Chiropractic Clinic, right here on Real Presence Radio.
Morgan Stanley values long-term relationships with its clients. Andrew DeMore and Thaddeus Barnes, financial advisors with the Barnes DeMore Group of Morgan Stanley's Sioux Falls office, know that building relationships begins with getting to know each client. Andrew and Thad can create personal investment strategies to help meet retirement, education, and other financial needs. Andrew and Thad can be reached at 338-6500. Investments and services are offered through Morgan Stanley, Smith Barney LLC, member SIPC.
Financial Benefits Company helps individuals and small businesses prepare for retirement. Financial Benefits Company's philosophy is safe principal, positive return. You can reach John Fritsch at 605-334-8086 and on the web at fbcjf.com. Financial Benefits Company is a proud sponsor of Catholic Radio.
Join us for The Shepherd's Voice and Ignition on Monday mornings from 7 to 8, plus 3 weekly editions of our regular local show, Real Presence Live, Tuesday through Thursday mornings from 9 to 11. This includes 2 monthly Real Presence Live programs hosted from Sioux Falls by Heather Carroll, Father Tim Smith, and Dr. Chris Bergwald. On Saturdays at 5 p.m., tune in Word on Fire with Bishop Robert Barron and Reflections with Father Mike Schmitz. And on Sunday mornings at 8:30, you can hear Catholic Views. Enjoy these great programs on the RPR Network.
Do you have daily pain and discomfort that includes headaches, neck and back pain, and arm and leg numbness? Dr. Mark Hagen with Hagen Chiropractic Clinic provides gentle adjusting, x-ray evaluation, rehabilitation, and massage therapy to treat these symptoms. Hagen Chiropractic Clinic is located on 14th and Cliff, 6 blocks north of Avera Hospital.
Hi, this is Dr. Mark Hagen with Hagen Chiropractic Clinic. Don't say ouch, call me at 361-OUCH.
From Real Presence Radio, welcome to the Knights Locker Room Show, sponsored by Dr. Mark Hagen with Hagen Chiropractic Clinic. Now, back to the field with Michael Bromus and Dan Johnson. Welcome into the Knights Locker Room Show, sponsored by Dr. Mark Hagen with Hagen Chiropractic Clinic. Well, folks, nobody saw this coming. The Gorman Knights defeat the Roosevelt Rough Riders. That's the number 2 Knights. Defeat the number 1 Rough Riders 36-0. Not only did the Knights show up, but they shut out the Roosevelt Rough Riders in a game that surely will be the talk of the town come Monday morning, or maybe even Saturday morning on any given sports broadcast.
Oh, yes. This is going to be talked about from now until next Thursday, until next week's game. How about next Friday night? This is going to be talked about.
I could see that as Roosevelt.
And written about and talked about.
Roosevelt picks up their first loss of the season, 5-1. Now the Knights at 6-0. So, I mean, what is there more to talk about? I mean, we have to talk about the amazing defensive effort from the Knights first and foremost. Shutting out a team like Roosevelt is very difficult. The secondary was excellent, and Brady Danenbring had no time to do much of anything, especially toward the end of the game when his offensive line was just totally gassed.
I mean, you got it's hard. I don't want to mention anybody's name. So, but you mean you got Reeves, you got Thomas, Sewing, Witry, Stucco. Kowalczyk was in there. Them guys were there all the time. and Georgia the Jungle Swaybach. You know, how many times did we say their names and stuff? That defense just played fabulous tonight, and Dan and Bring, he kept him, off kilter. He kept him, hopping on one leg around. He didn't know what was going on.
And there's really not a whole lot he could have done most of the time, because if it wasn't the front three, remember Knights were running a 3-4 defense, which seemed to work rather swimmingly, then it was one of the corners crashing inside to make, break things up a little bit. And that did open up a few receivers, but Danenbrink was kind of his own enemy in some of those. A lot of overthrown passes, and so the Knights were kind of lucky a little bit in that facet as well.
But Shannon Pobrick, a defensive coordinator, he called a great game.
Absolutely.
Blitzing and stunning like that, what they did, he like we said, he didn't know what hit him.
You're listening to the Knights Locker Room Show, sponsored by Dr. Mark Hagan with Hagan Chiropractic Clinic. We'll step aside. When we come back, we will get you the Knights Players of the Game, sponsored by Pizza Ranch on 41st Street in Sioux Falls. This is O'Gorman Knights Football on Real Presence Radio.
Do you have daily pain and discomfort that includes headaches, neck and back pain, and arm and leg numbness? Dr. Mark Hagan with Hagan Chiropractic Clinic provides gentle adjusting, x-ray evaluation, rehabilitation, and massage therapy to treat these symptoms. Hagan Chiropractic Clinic is located on 14th and Cliff, 6 blocks north of Avera Hospital.
Hi, this is Dr. Mark Hagan with Hagan Chiropractic Clinic. Don't say ouch, call me at 361-OUCH.
Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade on 41st Street in Sioux Falls has something for everyone. They offer a buffet featuring pizza and chicken. Pizza Ranch has daily specials as well as 5 party rooms and a dining area. You can also order online and they'll bring the experience to you. Pizza Ranch is located across from O'Gorman High School on 41st Street and can be contacted by calling 271-8646. Pizza Ranch is a strong supporter of O'Gorman Knights athletics and activities.
Welcome back to the Knights Locker Room Show, sponsored by Dr. Mark Hagan with Hagan Chiropractic Clinic. Knights defeat the Rough Riders 36-0, should move them to number 1 in 11 AAA football. And we saw a lot of great football from the Knights in tonight's game. We saw a lot of players that are well-deserving of our Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade, 41st Street Knights Player of the Game. Players, offense and defensively. But I think, Dan, we have whittled those down to the top couple players. Go ahead. Defensively, go ahead.
I'll go offense.
Okay.
I'll go offense first. Offense player of the game is going to be players of the game, and I'm going with the offensive line. Number 77, Will Waschenberger. 75, Jordan Rentschler. The center, Liam Sorensen. Right guard, Jackson Thompson. Right tackle, Logan Wolf. We didn't mention their name tonight individually because, you know what? They played a solid front line tonight.
Yeah.
Now, again, Zach did get sacked a couple times, but was nothing in the pocket. Every time they got him, he was out of the pocket running for his life. But I tell you what, he was safe in that pocket all night long. The pressure was not on him. They did their job, and they blocked, and they filled them gaps and did a terrific job. So the offensive players of the game go to those 5 young men. Yeah, and I think they played one heck of a ball game tonight.
That's number 57, Logan Wolf. Number 53, Jackson Thompson. Number 70, Liam Sorensen. Number 75, Jordan Rentschler. Number 77, Will Waschenberger. And I think my favorite part of that whole thing, there was no offsides on any of those guys. Nobody jumped the entire game. And there were, there were a few plays where the Knights were going with the hard count. Good heads-up play there by the offensive line.
And there was some defensive encroachment.
Yes, there was.
So
they didn't budge.
Yeah, excellent.
So offensively,
Vinny should be happy.
Absolutely. Defensively, Dan, who do you have?
I'm going to go with the Waffle King, number 44, Aiden Thomas.
That's not going to stick.
But I mean, okay, he loves his mom's waffles, Emily's waffles, and maybe we get to try those. Next week is what I'm hearing.
Bring waffles.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But no, Aiden Thomas on defense, he was there just about every single play.
Yes.
He,
3 sacks as well.
Playing tackle, on the front 3 and came in there, and I think he just did fabulous. He was there all the time.
Absolutely. Every single play, and he was getting up, and he was just jacked up the entire game. He was, jumping, and he was, hitting his helmet and all this other kind of stuff.
The high five and the leg kick and stuff.
He brought it every second of this game. So congratulations to our defensive player of the game, Aiden Thomas. Well-deserving there. And offensively, again, the Knights offensive line. Those players of the game are brought to you by the Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade on 41st Street in Sioux Falls. Pizza Ranch's daily specials every day and a fun zone for your kids to play. Pizza Ranch can be contacted by calling 271-8646. That's not a bad idea, actually, Dan. They're still open. We could get a buffalo chicken pizza.
Big Rig's closed.
Yeah, Big Rig's closed, and we can't get waffles right now. So, yeah, maybe that'll happen.
Yeah, because we haven't had dinner because I left work, come out right out here at 4:30, made it right before we got on the air. So
You're listening to the Knights Locker Room Show, sponsored by Dr. Mark Hagen with Hagen Chiropractic Clinic. We're now joined by Alex High up in the booth. And before we take our last break and send you off and get you ready for next week's game, Alex, you're down the sideline the whole game, and I apologize for the tech issues that we always seem to have here at Howard Wood. It's like a black hole of technology for some, sometimes. But what's your thoughts on the game, your perspective, your 2 cents?
Well, I'm still kind of processing. I was, mentally preparing myself throughout the day to have a tough interview with Coach Poppinga. What am I going to say to him if they lose a close one right at the end, and preparing myself to keep it short, but he was quite jovial. It was one of the easiest interviews. I basically say 2 words and off he goes, so it's good interview. And, what a game by the Knights, just start to finish. The defense played great. I think Coach Poppinga did mention the offense, not the greatest, but, hard to argue with 36 points. They were able to capitalize.
Yep.
And like you said, though, they left points on the board, so that's something to work on for the next time.
And I think those offensive falters were really in the first half, because second half they looked pretty darn crisp. But I would agree with Poppinga. They have a lot of little pieces that they can improve.
Yeah, and that's what you want. Big win, 36-0 over the number 1 team. You still got, 3 regular season games left?
Yeah. This is game 6.
And then playoffs, so that's...
Here in next week, you go to Rapid City in 2 weeks, and in Brandon Valley Thursday night, the 18th. So, 3 games left.
There we go.
Yeah, so you got stuff to work on.
And then post-game.
Then playoffs,
Yeah. Absolutely. All right, Alex, thank you very much there. You're listening to the Knights Locker Room Show, sponsored by Dr. Mark Hagen with Hagen Chiropractic Clinic. We'll step aside. When we come back, we will get you a scoreboard update real quick and see what's next for the now 6-0 O'Gorman Knights as they defeated Roosevelt 36-0. That's on the way right here on Real Presence Radio.
Pregnant. One word, many emotions. Catholic Family Services provides free and confidential counseling to birth parents regardless of faith or ethnic origin. The birth parents will receive information and resources to help make the right decision for them. To inquire about the process, speak with the pregnancy counselor or schedule an appointment, call Catholic Family Services at 605-988-3775 or email cfs@sfcatholic.org.
At McGuire Iron, we believe in building a better tomorrow by providing unmatched services to deliver life-sustaining water. We're a family-run company that has been in business for over 100 years. We pride ourselves on using faith principles in our business practices every day. This deep faith in the church is why we support the Sioux Falls Catholic school system. From all of us at McGuire Iron and the Jones family, we wish all the O'Gorman students and student athletes good luck this year.
Welcome back one last time to the Knights Locker Room Show, sponsored by Dr. Mark Hagen with Hagen Chiropractic Clinic. Knights now 6-0 with the 36-0 rout of the number 1 ranked Roosevelt Rough Riders. But there are a lot of other games going on throughout the area, and here's Brett Byler with our scoreboard update. Brett.
All right, Michael. You're used to this headset. Wore the new fancy ones before. Huron is at Mitchell right now, 7-7 in the first quarter. Harrisburg at Watertown, a game we think is going to be a pretty good one up in Watertown. The Arrows leading 14-7 in the first quarter. Brandon Valley, a team we played in a couple weeks, leading Stevens 12-0 in the first quarter. Don't got scores on Pierre and Sturgis Brown, just started up in West River. Lincoln is at Yankton right now. Aberdeen is at Rapid City Central. And tonight, the game following us in about 20 minutes, Brookings at Washington. So with our early game, we only have a few games going right now. Again, Mitchell Huron tied at 7. Watertown up on Harrisburg 14-7. And Brandon up on Stevens 12-0.
All right, Brett, thank you very much there. And we have some other stuff going on Saturday as well as far as O'Gorman sports, right?
A lot of stuff, Michael. The O'Gorman girls O'Gorman girls tennis team has their invite at O'Gorman. Then we also have the cross-country boys and girls at the Roy Griak in Minneapolis starting at 10 o'clock. That is a really neat big track meet up in Minneapolis. Cheerleading and dance is at the Pentagon tomorrow. Volleyball is at Pierre. Number one volleyball team in the state right now is O'Gorman. So we'll have the number one football team when the new polls come out Monday, the number one volleyball team as well. And then real quick, next week I'll be at O'Gorman Tuesday night video streaming playoff soccer. The girls play Washington at 5 o'clock at the MAC. And then the boys play at 7. We don't know who the team is yet, but the boys and girls soccer Tuesday night. Thursday night's a good one. Volleyball, number 1 O'Gorman versus number 4 Mitchell at O'Gorman. 7 o'clock, I'll be there video streaming that. And then finally, as Dan and you have mentioned, the football game next week, 7 o'clock at O'Gorman. The last regular season home game for the seniors against Huron. And that's a kickoff at 7. Our pregame show will start at 6:30.
Parents' night then next week for
Right,
the last home game.
Yeah, because then the next game is at Stevens and then at Brandon.
Pretty special night for the seniors on this. And it gets to be emotional, so they'll be up and ready for the Tigers from here, which we played the last 2 years up there.
That's right. And so, it'll be nice to actually not have to go to Huron. Not that I don't love going to Huron, because it's a cool little town.
Yeah, they rebuilt that stadium last
year.
Yeah,
it's
new
super
turf
nice.
and
New
stuff.
turf. The
Gorgeous.
same turf, actually, that South Dakota State University has, because they were like, hey, you're here doing the states, the state schools. Why don't you just do ours, too? But anyway, it'll be nice to host the Tigers for the first time in quite some time. Oh, one thing, Brett. Go ahead.
One more score. Yankton is up on Lincoln, and Yankton 20-7 early on.
There we go. So Yankton proven to be rather scrappy this year.
Yep.
And they got, I think, a new field turf or new kind of thing going on up there. A lot better. I think they just either improved their stadium or did something up there.
Oh, that used to be back in the 80s when Dakota State go down and played
before we were born.
College. Yeah, that was kind of kind of like Howard Wood. You get a couple of games on it. Yankton Bucks would play on Friday night, and then the college would play. Yankton College would play one of the teams, and it was a mud bowl.
Yeah.
Kind of like Howard Wood used to be, because everybody played here before this was turf. So on a weekend, you can end up having 4 games, Thursday night, Friday night doubleheader, and then Augie would play here, Sioux Falls College played here.
Yep.
I mean, this was the mecca for football in Sioux Falls.
It was the same thing up at SDSU before they put in their new turf and their new field and all that, and, well, that's never fun. So, so good job for Yankton, and we'll see how those games progress. We have plenty of time. Those games just started. So that is going to do it for us here at Howard Wood Field. Again, the O'Gorman Knights defeating Roosevelt 36-0 to move to 6-0 on the season. Now they have Huron next week at O'Gorman. Kickoff at 7. We'll be on the air, and you can catch all of it right here on Real Presence Radio. Pregame starting at 6:30. For Dan Johnson, for Brett Byler, for Alex Hyde, for all of us here at Real Presence Radio, thank you so much for tuning in tonight's broadcast of O'Gorman Knights football. I'm Michael Promis, and have yourself a fantastic night.
God bless.
From Real Presence Radio, O'Gorman Knights football has been brought to you by
Catholic Family Services, Catholic Community Foundation of Eastern South Dakota, Jardine Construction, Hagen Chiropractic Clinic, Mini Critters, Barnett Vision Clinic, Crossroads, the Barnes DeMoor Group Financial Advisors at Morgan Stanley, Sioux Falls Catholic Schools, Jeff Alvey with Fairtax Inc., John Fritsch with the Financial Benefits Company, McGuire Iron, Knights of Columbus Insurance Field Agents Jason Bellrichard and Heath Dickelman, Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade on 41st Street, First Premier Bank Card, Aaron's, Sioux Equipment Company, I. Bailey, Ferendorf Family Chiropractic and Wellness, Mark Promis with Providence Financial, and Big Rig Barbecue.
The preceding O'Gorman Knights activity has been a special presentation of Real Presence Radio Network. Now, back to our regularly scheduled programming.